Chaos. Pure fucking chaos. But we're here. Everything's great. Everything's super fine. It's wonderful. We're here. It's on a totally normal schedule. Definitely have everything ready and all of that. It's good. It's so good. Everything's... Hi! For a day that didn't have anything, like, of note, it has still felt wildly chaotic. So we're good. I'm missing one of my windows. Where's my window? Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Everything's great. You're great. How are you? I made an assumption. I hope everyone's great. Let's get the sound on. Okay. I hear things. Hearing things is good. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. There's still 2 entire days left. But I have a delicious drink. And that helps. How is everybody? My Boo and Naya napping on my leg. Oh, yay. Ran out of drink an hour ago. Oh, no. Less yay. I need a controller. There we go. Okay, now. I said today was a chaos day. Am I blurry? I looked blurry for a second. We're good. First of all, in theory. No, I'm gonna actually wait and see if anybody notices. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but like I just wanna see if anybody figures it out. So hopefully, hey, here's a hint. There's something new about the stream for you to figure out. Allegedly there's something new. I didn't actually double check that it was working correctly. Second thing. Okay, so you should be suspicious. I'm always suspicious. If you're not suspicious of me, let your guard down. The mic is the other way. No, I flipped this. I flipped this last week so I could show off my villain era sweatshirt, and I just didn't bother flipping it back. It'll be the other way on the game. So I needed to run errands this morning. We needed groceries, and we needed some of our special groceries. So I wasn't just going to H-E-B. I had to go to Whole Foods for our fancy groceries. Because there are some things where just like the H-E-B is just does not have the right choices for us. So we have normal groceries. Most of our stuff comes from H-E-B, and then we have some things where like we will take the time and spend the money and get better versions of X, Y, and Z from Whole Foods. So I was going over there, and Whole Foods is near a bagel place that I love. And I hadn't had a bagel in a long time, and I just woke up and I was like, I require carbs. So I was like, I'm gonna go. There it is! Ashley found it first! I found a little tool that lets me take clips directly from streams and turn them into animated emotes. So if you have any other great reactions I've had, that you think should be an animated emote. I think I still have 6 more animated emote slots. Because I was looking, and I have like a couple regular slots too, but the person who drew my original ones of my jail and my nonchalant whistling and all of that doesn't do emotes anymore. So if I pick somebody else, I gotta find somebody who can I feel like can do a close enough style replication to do the other things. I'm bummed about it, but hey, I at least have an option for some animated ones. So any hoodles. Wartburg, I will say that you having turned the entirety of this moment into a GIF is what made me go, I know exactly where to find the face palm to make this one. So you get credit for being the inspiration for this one. There is a limit to how long the animated thing can be. So, there's that. Anyways, yeah, so bagel place. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get a bagel. And I walk in, and it's like mostly empty, and I was like, this is perfect. And I was like, I would love to get an egg everything bagel, because they do egg bagel, so it's like their dough actually has egg in it, and they usually don't. Flash! Thank you for the resub, super appreciate it. Also, hi Frisco. I didn't say hi. I made eye contact, but I was in the middle of talking. I was like, I'll circle back to that. And then the ADHD kicked in. But I made eye contact again, so it's back. Definitely need a Jeff pop in. Oh, there is a good one. There is a good moment of a Jeff. Yeah, we gotta get that. We need a Jeff one for sure. Anyways. Words and things and stuff. So they do egg bagels, and I love their egg everything bagel. And I was like, yes, give me this. I was like, I'd love an egg everything bagel. And the guy's like, we actually just ran out. And I'm like, oh. I was like really set on that. And I'm like, okay, what else? So I'm looking at the list of bagels, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll do a Parmesan bagel. And he's like, we're out of those too. And at this point, I fully I've got like my arms like up on the counter, and I squat down and like, oh no. The guy comes out of the kitchen, is like, we actually have 2 of the egg everything bagels left. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. We just went on an emotional journey getting my egg everything bagel with my lime and roasted poblano schmear on it. Great. Order that. Beautiful. I start working on it. I go around the corner to where they've got one of the little water spigots. And what they have is one of those water spigots where it's just like, it's in the plumbing, and it's got the little spigot thing that's got like the little, everyone's seen it, like the little T-shaped, upside down T-shaped blue little lever that requires way too much force to engage. And that you push that, and then the water will come out the spigot at, again, way too high of a velocity, and it will splash. That'll do that, and then you release it, and it stops. So I take my cup, and I push it, and I always push it with my other hand, not the cup, because the cup will collapse before you actually press the thing, because of how much force it needs. So I press it, and I fill up my cup, and then I release everything, and the water just keeps coming. And so now I grab the blue thing, and I like pull it forward, and it comes all the way forward. There is no stopping it. And this is not a spigot that has a drain hole underneath it, so it's just on the counter and now just everywhere. And I'm jiggling this thing until it finally stops. And I'm like, okay. And I tiptoe like kind of around it. And I poke my head around the corner. I was like, hey, I'm more than happy to clean it up because I feel responsible. I was like, and they went, the water did it again. Apparently this was an issue they had yesterday and they thought they had fixed it. And the answer is no. I felt less bad at that point, but I was still like, you're busy. It was like, if you're just gonna give me a towel, I can at least start mopping it up. So we tag teamed it because there was water fucking everywhere. But like, that was how my day started. And that was just kind of the energy that persisted. So I'm glad it was not a day I was at Turbo Dork, because then I'm afraid the paint machine would have just exploded. Although that energy did start yesterday when our paint mixer fucking broke, and they had to overnight apart. But that was not me. I didn't even touch it. So it was not a me energy. It's just everything around me is cursed, I guess, is where we're at with that. Anyways, second fun thing I should point out about tonight, if you didn't notice the stream title or the stream announcement go live thing. This is the 50th Persona stream. This is the 50th Persona 5 stream. I was doing the archiving to like save the VOD long term from last time. And it was part 49. And this is 50. This is part 50. That's too many. That's too many. That's too many parts. Persona 5. Oh, I missed a good joke. I should have done that. It's too late now. Fuck. Pack it in. We're done. Anyways. What stream that didn't happen? If it didn't happen, it wasn't there. I don't know what you're talking about. 2 away from a whole year. And here's the thing is, like, on a calendar, we've been doing it for longer than a year. We just had to, like, skip weeks for a variety of reasons. Yeah. God, it's so much. It's so much. Steam thinks I've played the game for 185 hours. It's also not entirely true because I do have to, like, launch it before the stream. And then inevitably what ends up happening is because the way my screens are set up is, like, we'll end the stream and James and I will continue to talk for, like, an hour. And then I'll go, oh, yeah, I never actually turned it off. Oops. So it's still too much, though. Like, most streams average 3 hours. So that's still 150 hours of being here. Why? Why do we do this? Steam is also being really passive aggressive on like my homepage. It's like, hey, other players like you have really enjoyed these games that are unplayed in your library. And I was like, bitch, why you gotta come at me like that? I know they're unplayed. I would like to get to them. But the fact that that was like a whole ass heading felt very targeted. Hey, it's Joe! Joe is 74 months. That's also too much. Quit Persona and play Fortnite. Oh my god. Play Fortnite Lego. Wait, hold on. What? Fortnite Lego. Guys, you see there's news that Lego, maybe we talked about it, I don't remember. Lego got the rights from Nintendo to make a Zelda set finally, after like years of people asking for it. So they got that, and there's a bunch of leaked pictures all over the internet of like, here's what the set's gonna be, but all of the leaks are all vastly different, and some of them are just like fucking god awful, and I hope none of those are correct. I'll be damned. Lego Fortnite. I can't with this. Kinda like Valheim meets Minecraft. Alright. Alright, let's see. Farron also had a weird water thing recently. It's at an antique store, and the bathroom sink wouldn't stop coming out of the faucet even though I turned it off. Incredible. Oh, love that. Was it like, okay. What's the difference between a fruit and a vegetable? We're not doing this here. We're not doing this here. Oh my god. I can't. We're just coming out the gate. And I can't, not on a Persona night. Anyways, the bad thing is, like, kind of haven't answered the question. I think the big thing, if I remember correctly... No, that doesn't make sense for cucumbers, though, unless cucumbers are technically fruit. And I don't want to learn that cucumbers are technically fruit. It's like, I thought it was... The big thing about fruits and vegetables was that, like, where the seeds were located. And if it was it was the thing you ate, or if it was a separate part. But that doesn't explain cucumbers, so maybe that's an incorrect recollection on my part. I don't know anymore. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this because I, again, don't know what's been happening to the messages that I get via Discord and whatever, and I'm not calling anybody in particular out. But the DMs I get on Twitter and on Discord from a wide variety of people are like, there's a difference between sending somebody a question that's like an opinion thing, like, what do you think about X? There's so many things that I have been getting lately that have just been like, hey, be Google for me. Like, this is a thing that could be Googled and get an answer. Like, it is a thing that has an answer. And I think there's a difference between, like, when people come in here, like, explain the science thing to me that, like, this, like, we've talked about sciencey things where it's like, here's, like, a more complicated thing where it's like, I Googled it and I read it and I don't understand it, is a different thing. Because now it's a discussion of, like, cool, let's explain the thing. But when it's like, God, I'm trying to think of, like, an example that is random. It doesn't, like, throw anybody under the bus. Let's see. Let's think about science things. Let's look. If somebody were to be like, hey, why aren't you supposed to mix, like, bleach and ammonia for, like, cleaning products? Like, why are you supposed to keep those two things separate? I have the answer to that. So does Google, very easily. I don't mind having a conversation when it's like, what's your opinion about the thing? Or like, I don't understand this. Then I'm like, yes, this is a conversation. But like, this is like, is Ask Jeeves still a thing? Is that just a thing old people know? Is that still around? Is that a reference people get? I saw somebody who didn't know what a NES was earlier. Like the original Nintendo, didn't know what it was. And I'm like, we're at a point in time where there are people who don't know these things. What? So anyways. I'm not Jeeves. Don't ask me. That's where I'm at. But if you're like, I read the thing, I don't understand it. Or like, I understand in principle, like, how, like, a magnetic field works, but like, how do you get electricity from that? It's like, the explanation of that is in depth. I imagine there's a certain amount of glazing over that happens. Ask genes. No, don't ask my genes. Cucumbers are technically fruits? Okay. All right, so maybe I was right about the seed thing. Perfect. I am upset that cucumbers are fruits, because that means pickles are fruit. And I like pickles, but I don't feel like they're fruit. Yeah, a culinary vegetable. Like a tomato's a fruit, but a culinary vegetable. I like that. I like this phrase. I don't know where culinary vegetable came from, but I'm down for it, and I'm going to use that forever. Joe, I don't know why you said the thing about Twitter rebranding, but I agree with you for a number of reasons. I'm catching up on chat now. It's me. That's the problem. You can absolutely throw everybody to the wolves. No, you're good. Because the questions you've asked me recently have been like, here's a they've been like interpretation of D&D rules questions. And I think those are valid because like when there's wiggle room, you want to know how that DM does stuff. There was a spell somebody was talking about the other day where they're like, hey, like this spell, like people want to do this with it. But that's not how it's written. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I would rule like this. Oh, we're going to save D&D. Oh, I'm going to add this to the list. I have a lot of D&D related things for my list today. I'm gonna stop that one. Yeah, I ended up on a TikTok video where they were, and I feel like I want to do this with people at some point, where they were essentially doing like a draft of like, and it was 3 of them, and they would like be able to like take turns like who got to go first for each round, and they were picking 5 of a thing, and as soon as one person picked it, nobody else could pick it, like the way a draft for like people would work. And they were like, cool, like your top cantrips or your top first level spells, what are the things that you would pick? And sometimes they do 5 and sometimes they do 3. And then they've started doing anti-drafts of like, what are your top picks for the worst choices? I was upset they were doing first level spells. No one picked Magic Missile. But anyways, I want to do this with people at some point. But there was a thing that came up with that I've added to the list because I want to talk about it later. So, anyways, magnets and Nintendos. Yes, pickles in a fruit salad. Carl, stop. No. And it wasn't that a NES confused them, but someone made a reference to it. They're like, it was a video where somebody was talking about, they're like, oh, I was playing the Ninja Turtle, like, this reminds me of like playing the Ninja Turtles on the NES and how impossible that game was. And this person was like, what is a NES? They're like, the NES, like the Nintendo Entertainment System. And they were like, what are you talking about? They're like one of like the first like consoles. Like it was Nintendo. It was like the first console that like Nintendo made. Like that was like where like the original like 8-bit Mario. And they got like this weird look on their face, and it was deeply upsetting. Long rest rules at my last session. Oh my god, we're gonna add long rest rules. We're gonna add long rest rules to this too, because I made a mistake of allowing something, but it was like, I allowed it that way that was like, yeah, sure. Like, what, like, to me, it was inconsequential. But that was taken as, this is the rule. And I feel like I can't undo it now. And I've created a large problem for myself. So we're going to talk about it. Kaiju, welcome back! 80 months. God, that's so many. That's so many. I realize there's a section on Twitch where it, like, you can mark what your, like, affiliate anniversary is to, like, have it be, like, a thing that'll, like, show up in chat or whatever. But, like, mine is also incorrect. Like, I think I just defaulted to, defaulted to this date. It's like, May 1st. I was like, it wasn't that, though. Like, I have it written in my planner somewhere. I don't have my planner next to me right now. I was like, so I need, and it gives you the option to update it. So I'm gonna update it, but I was like, they know! They know! Why is this wrong? Anyways, I am in the old category. We were in an antique store this week and we found a new one because I'm on the hunt for a particular item. And we're like, oh shit, like, let's go see if they've got it. And they did not, and it was sad. But in this antique store, there was, like, one of the booths that was like, oh my god, it's a bunch of, like antique, and, like, vintage, like, music things. And there were CDs. I want, like, the cassette tapes I could get behind, kind of. But then there was a whole CD section, and I wanted to die. I just wanted to crumble into the dust that I was. Yeah, Farron, I cannot wait. Farron, I also want to know, fuck it, we're doing some D&D talk right now, because I can't wait an hour and a half. I've been talking so long. Can't wait for an hour and a half to know this. Although I know James wants to know too. We're gonna put a pin in this, Farron. You have to be here in an hour and a half because I know James and I both want to know how the discussion with the problem player went. I'm putting air quotes because, like, problem is a broad term that might be a little bit harsher than we intended. But, like, the person that you were having the discussion with to be like, I gave you a rule and you didn't follow it, so we need to address that. I want to know how that went. And we also got to talk about long rests. Anyways, I've missed so many things. I've missed so many things in chat. I missed a cheers. Sorry. Cheers. Hi, sweetie. I'm sorry. I was trying to catch up on the things. Is he still here? Did I miss it? Let's see. Okay, I'm catching up, but I'm gonna actually, like, I'm caught back up to live chat now, so I'll know. I'm just gonna see it. He's cheering. Yeah, cheers! I'm sorry you had to wait. I got distracted. I don't know if any of those words mean anything to him. Anyways, yeah, CDs are antiques. People who don't know what a NES is. Someone else pointed out that there are people, oh yeah, I think it was Carl that posted the thing in the Discord of, like, somebody being like, oh, you're 7. And like, yeah, I was born in 2017. And just the idea that anybody was born in 2017 is insane to me. Now he's a problem. Ah, that sucks. Let's see. God, yeah, remember when you had to, like, remember phone numbers? And you were tethered to your wall or whatever to be able to talk to somebody? God. If you wanted to look up a phone number, you had to go to a phone book and hope it was, like, updated. Oh, boy. Shout at me, no, mommy, drink it all. Yeah, drink it all up, mom. Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna drink all of mine. Mine is very fancy. I have one of our good whiskeys in here, with a little bit of blood orange syrup that Jackie made, and I've got one of the dried, candied blood orange slices floating on the top of it. I felt like being a little pinky out tonight. I feel like I earned that by almost flooding a bagel shop. Anyways, we should restart the game, because God knows I don't know where we're actually at in it. So, like, it's gonna take some time. Oh, I gotta hit the game button for you all to end up there as well. And hopefully all the things mute and unmute the way they're supposed to. Oh, nope, they didn't. Oh, I forgot to I almost see this gave me an opportunity to make sure I hit the right buttons. James was going to be muted when he showed up, and he's going to be muted in OBS. I got to make sure he's not going to be muted over here. All right, everything looks good. It looks good. I got real excited that, like, the buttons all started working the way they were supposed to for, like, 2 weeks. It's like, I finally fixed it! No. It's okay. DS was my first system. Oh, my God. My bones hurt just reading that! Oh. I don't know what to do with that. That's not a to each their own. That's a to each their own is for, like, personal taste and choice, not age generations. Ay, ay, ay. All right, where are we? I think we're in our house. Great. All right. God, what a series of objectives I have. Find the true culprit. Elude the investigation team. Ha. God. Okay. I need to... No, that was the button I wanted. That's not the button I wanted. Oh, God! Just insanity happening immediately. No, not stats. And then this button. And then this button. Got it. Okay. We could try the other bookstore at this point. No, I can't leave. You're sitting. I can stay in the cafe, but I can't do anything else. You're gonna not let me leave.
Hey!
Alright. I can... Teachers in the hospital. I can clean. I could try to read. Nope. I want it. The chair next to it. Yes, we'll try to read. Guts. Oh God, I don't really got a lot. Shit. What do I have? Do I have a game or a DVD right now?
Oh.
Yo, Muffin, what's up? Good to see you. How are you? Oldest piece of technology in my house growing up was a flip phone? What? What? I had a flip phone in high school. The very end of high school. Had a flip phone going into college. You guys remember how on the old phones you could, like, pry off the case and, like, fully, like, replace it with something else and, like, customize the buttons and everything? That was some good shit. We should go back to that. I loved that. And it wasn't just, like, put another case, like, you didn't change the size of the phone. It wasn't like now where if you want to put a case on it, it, like, makes it bigger or whatever. It was just, you just pried it off. It was plastic. It was great. What pals we got? We just finished Okumura, which is, I don't know, number five? Whatever that was. We finished that. So, remember fucking, yeah! Like, how painstaking it was to pick out the perfect ringtone. And, like, you had to, like, pay for a lot of them. I was so proud of myself the day I figured out, like, how to get, like, find a file and convert it into something my phone could use and get it onto my phone. I felt like I was, like, an elite hacker at that point. Because it was such a fucking process, and now you're just like, oh, literally, you could just download literally anything and set it as your ringtone. Like, right now, my alarm in the morning is the morning music of Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time. Like, as soon as it turns daytime and you get that little, beautiful little trill, like, that's my alarm in the morning. realize the actual perfect ringtone is silence. Yeah, like, when did we go from, like, gotta have the right ringtones to, like, my phone will only ever be on vibrate? I guess it did also, like, them going off, like, and ringing was a lot more rare. And now because of spam and then all the other kinds of notifications you get, it does just would kind of just go off constantly. But yeah, it's like you could leave your ringer on for the most part because it very rarely went off. And it was like a little treat every time it happened. All right. Let's see. Watch a DVD. What do I have? Proficiency. Yes, that.
I saw you practicing your swing. Come on, join the golf club.
Ugh, you don't get it. Don't you know how stressed I am?
I do get it. Because you're just like me.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. I see.
All right, yeah, give me that proficiency.
Well then.
It's literally the movies when they're rough. There is an actual. Oh god, it just keeps going down.
Damned phantom thieves.
The government and the police are useless, and that's not just applicable to this particular situation. No, I'm not, Muffin. Oh, Muffin, have you missed this? Have you missed this? I'm playing this against my will. I hate this game. I have many opinions. None of them are favorable. I'm here because I am apparently easily bullied by peer pressure. Fuck this game. Also, we are super not playing Persona 3. I'm not letting myself be bullied into that one. Not as like a funny haha, but because I have issues with the summoning mechanic. We're not doing that. But I was bullied and we played Persona 4. Recap for anybody who missed it. We played Persona 4 because James was convinced I would actually like it. And then we very quickly realized that he was wrong. And then I agreed to finish it because he was gonna get on and like help coach me through it. We did Discord times and Discord chats, and we enjoyed our Discord chat times. And then we played 5 because the chat was like, it's so fun to watch you hate what you're doing. Please do this one as well. And so I agreed to do it with the understanding that James would be on Discord to help coach me through it. So he gets on in what is now going to be about 15 minutes after his kids go to bed. And we shoot the shit, and he coaches me through the things that need someone who understands what the fuck is happening here. Oh, they did. They revoked your honor status. They did actually take it. Fuck these people. So, it's my all-time favorite game. Look, I am glad there are people who enjoy this. I think there's something wrong with all of you. I don't actually mean that. I do. I don't understand what is enjoyable about this. I don't. Any game where you can be 130 hours in and it's still popping tutorials up is a badly designed game. It is, from a game design perspective, is badly done. I'm not talking about the narrative. I'm not talking about anything else. That's just wrong. That's just wrong and badly done. Oh, here we go again.
Too, right? Yeah. What do those damn cops think they are? They can't just stare us all down like that.
Talking like a thug. Calm the fuck down.
Maybe the rumors are true. Maybe there's a phantom thief at our school.
Yeah. I'm glad other people enjoy it. I'm glad people enjoy watching me suffer and play through this. The only thing I have enjoyed about this is using my narrative deduction skills to be like, this is what I feel like is gonna happen either soon or later or whatever. And just like, I really wish I'd been keeping track of all those predictions and how many of them have been right. Because I love that shit.
Okay, quiet down.
For completely unrelated reasons, the school festival has moved. I don't know when it was originally supposed to be, though. Did it move up? Did it move back? sure the preparations will be up. It sounds like it got moved up. That sounds like a forward thing. Here's the thing, is there's a new Danganronpa. Like, I was so mad about the ending of V3. I don't know if I would try a 4th one. But, like, I might have to, just to be like, this is your chance at redemption. I don't know. Oh, it has certainly, this is stream number 50, of not quite weekly. I want to say I started this in the fall, like, October, November-ish of 22. We've been here for a while. I don't like it. I don't like it's been a very long time. My Steam year-end wrap felt like personally attacked me. Yeah, I feel like the V3 ending was just bad and just I feel like it cheapened and undid everything they had laid out in the first 2 games and potentially even like the first half of the 3rd one. Interrogating all of the students, that's, I feel like a lot of people. And fucking Ryuji can't keep his mouth shut under the best of circumstances. So, like, I imagine what's gonna happen is they're gonna get him in a room, and he's gonna cross his arms and kick his feet up. I don't want to put my feet on stream. I need to be careful. He's gonna kick his feet up and lean back, and he's like, I'm not gonna tell you anything about the Phantom Thieves. And they'll be like... And they'll be like... Okay, do you know anything? I was like... No, he's gonna give some kind of, like, excuse that is gonna just, like, immediately implicate at least himself. Or I'm not gonna tell you who else is in the Phantom Thieves. Like, say it like that. Ah! I think they say V3 is an alternate universe. Did they try to, like, retcon that and cover their ass with it? 'Cause, like... I would almost appreciate them realizing, you know what, that was a bad move. They haven't come to... Your school hasn't had multiple incidents where the Phantom Thieves were at least tangentially implicated. Oh, God. Yes, that is what all students means. Oh, God, I really wish you're, like... The fact that you had Kyoko's voice actor, I keep wanting you to be smarter than you are, but we're all dumb. We're all so stupid. Oh, God. Yes. Yes, not kanji. Yeah, we should probably not be having a text message chain where we say all of this. God. You know, but you don't. But you don't. Yeah. Gwen's got it. You only answer what you are asked. You don't volunteer anything extra. And don't lie. Lie by omission. Don't say something untrue. Someone just abandoned their lunch behind me.
Well then, next up is Takamaki-san and...
At the same time? Yeah. Tell cops nothing, tell EMTs everything.
You two will go together.
Interesting.
Huh? Why together?
Yeah, why together? Has no one else been together? Why does the guy in the front look like he's, like, holding... Like, he's, like, waiting to go, can I go to the bathroom? May I be excused?
Why? They'll probably have one of you wait outside. That's how they've been doing it so far.
Oh, okay. Well, if they've been doing it like that so far, then why are we surprised by it? I'm surprised by it as the player because I've had no context, so that did sound weird.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, my God.
Those are the instructions the detectives gave us. Just don't say more than is necessary and try and get it over with quick.
That sounds like she knows. Wait, you're not in the hospital anymore. That's good.
Take a seat.
I would prefer not to. I don't like he's standing behind me.
We're sorry to take your time. This will be over quick.
You're not that sorry.
Let's see. Ah, yes. You're the one currently under probation.
This feels like it's gonna get vaguely threatening.
It says here you had a dispute with Mr. Kamoshida?
I feel like I gotta be honest.
You're more hot-blooded than you look.
The bottom one felt aggressive, the middle one was a lie,
You
so...
spend time with quite an interesting group. Yusuke Kitagawa and Haru Okumura?
Yusuke, okay.
The more friends, the better, right?
Okay, alright.
I'm sorry to have taken your time. You're free to go now.
That...
Oh, I almost forgot. There's just one more thing I have to ask you.
It was like, those were like not questions.
Do you think the Phantom Thieves are associated with this school?
We're gonna go with the middle.
We won't know for certain unless we investigate further.
Thank you for your time.
I feel like the middle one sounded like, it was like concern.
Your responses will serve as great reference material.
What does that mean?
Takamaki-san is next. Could you ask her to come in?
What does that mean? What reference material?
I got so nervous, I almost stuttered a few times. I thought I was used to police questioning by now, too.
Blown on clock. We actually got to play Clock Tower recently. It was very exciting. For the first time ever, I witnessed in any game I have played or been storyteller for, I've never had a saint loss before. But evil team won because the good team executed the saint. It was wild. Ashley was the saint. Did not do a good job of convincing people that was true. Sounded very suspicious while she did it. You did warn us it would go. You did say it wasn't going to go well for you. Here's the thing. As nobody else got to experience what I did, which was Attack Box ended up being the imp. Attack had never been the imp before, so I thought it was very fitting that the game assigned it to him finally after we had to take a hiatus for a while. And so when I visited him first, he was like, I have a question for you. I do. Because I visited everybody because we've been out of practice for a little while. And I was like, but I had to visit him. And so that way, if anybody had any questions, they could ask me. Just rather trying to get back into practice. And he's like, yeah, I do have a question. I was like, okay, what is it? It's like, are you ready to re-rack and run a second game when I immediately fuck this up? And I laughed. And then a little while later, I'm like checking with Ashley, being like, okay, do you have any questions? And they said the exact same thing. And it was very funny. I think what did Ashley in was the bluffing as something that you then later claimed that you forgot was in the game. That's what did it. That right there. That fucked it. God, it was so funny, though. I'm glad we got to play. I'm glad we got... Oh! Sassy, I need to know. Your coworker who joined us. Did they actually have a good time, or were they just being polite? I need to know.
Seems we were all asked the same questions.
I don't think we're all asked the same question. It's not, did you have beef with Kamoshida?
That's how they get you. They do that on purpose, then wait for someone to slip up.
I hope you didn't.
It was probably fine. Oh, it would have been done for if they saw how sweaty my hands were, though.
To think my name would come up as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Like, they know stuff. I mean, they know, like, your teacher was a thing, and they probably looked at all students. And were looking
Sounds
for
like we
connections.
can't take the police lightly either.
What do you mean either? Or have you been taking them lately? God fucking damn it.
Hey,
didn't you think that detective guy was scary?
She was anxious, disappointed we lost a quick. Yeah, did you tell her that's not normal? That, like, usually we block out 2 hours, but we've had many games go for much more than that. We've gotten up to night 7. We've had some beefy ones, but I'm glad she had fun and she wants to do it again. So, yeah, that one was a little bit of a fluke, and I think it's just because we were all out of practice. I was out of practice and not on my game for narration and spieliness, but she did fucking great. She was given a tough role to begin with, but she nailed it. Yeah, I thought he was fine.
Not to me. You looked like someone who's dealt with dangerous criminals.
Well, probably.
I'm sorry for all of this.
It's because of my sister.
Yeah, we should kill her. No, let's not do that.
That's not true, Mako-chan.
Yeah, it's not because of your sister, but she is certainly a factor.
It's not as though I hadn't predicted this would happen.
Yeah, we had this conversation like a few months ago.
But now that it's become reality, I'm unsure of what to do.
Accidentally spill a bunch of hot tea on her laptop.
We need to make sure we don't draw suspicion and work to clear our names. Right?
What a fucking combo of things.
Right.
Ain't your fault, Makoto.
I'm gonna try to see how far along this investigation really is.
Thank you, James. Oh man. Oh, you're almost to the fun number. I'll get you in a second when we're out of this voice acted cutscene.
I'm worried about the police too, but as of now, anyone in this city could be a mole.
They were so popular too. Haru, can I ask you to search your father's belongings for clues about a possible culprit?
It's like fucking wow, heartless. Also a thing Gwen would do.
I know it may be tough on you. No, it's okay. Now isn't the time for me to look away. As for everyone else, you need to be cautious of how you spend your time at school. So, I've decided to have you 3 second years join me on the school festival executive committee.
Why?
Yeah, why are you making... Okay.
It will allow us to gather without drawing suspicion. Plus, trying to blend in will only do the opposite.
Oh, God.
Fine.
You can't let Ryuji actually be in charge of anything. You can't let him touch it.
I agree. The more time I have to kill, the more time I'll spend worrying about all this stuff. No matter what happens, I don't want to regret my decisions.
Don't jinx it!
It would be no surprise if they came directly to our homes for questioning. They showed up at your school after all. I should remain cautious.
You should, Matt Mercer.
For now, the best option is to stay on the defensive. But we won't make progress at this rate. Let's try and figure out who the real culprit is somehow, okay?
Oh, God.
Of course.
Okay. Everything's fine, Gwen. Deep breaths. Oh, God. I'm relating to her too much. This is bad. All right. We're good? We're clear. All right, I can get James in here now. Hello!
Right vegetables, everyone.
The amount of anxiety I feel every time I have you join a call and then I just watch the little audio meter on OBS to make sure it moves when you say whatever your intro is. Like, after so many times of it failing, just like, I say hello and then I clench and I just wait to see if it moves.
Well, you know what? It's happened enough times that I thought about preparing a song and dance for Persona 3 on Friday just to start in. But I'm like, I know this will be the one time where I get this whole number out. And it's like, James, the green bar didn't move at all. I'm so sorry.
Everyone missed it. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you? How are you, chat?
I'm doing okay. I've added things to my list since I sent it to you.
Ooh,
so
fun.
So
it's
yeah,
a mystery.
There's still a lot of D&D related things on it, but there's at least a little bit more that's not. I'm gonna. We figured out the DVD I have is proficiency, so we're gonna do that since I'm not allowed to leave yet.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, Muffin hadn't been here for a while and didn't know I was playing this against my wishes, so we got to go through all of that.
I'm sorry to break the illusion, Muffin.
but James, you're also excited for P3.
Oh, I'm psyched out of my eyeballs. Like, normally I'm someone who, like, I don't really super get upset about spoilers because I think a good story can stand on its own through the journey, even if you know the end. Even I have been deliberately not watching like any reviews or like early impressions because like I know I'm gonna play it and I want to enjoy it and I don't want it to be sullied by some other uncouth slob's opinion on Persona 3 Reloaded. So I'm very excited.
So you have not played it before, and you're just excited for the Reloaded. Like, this is going to be your first thing. Oh my god, it's voice acting again. Answer the question, and then we'll do this.
Oh no, I've played Persona 3. Like, I know all of the story beats. I don't know what they've changed.
Got it. I was like, hold on.
I'm still excited for it. I'm still very excited for it. Because I think the biggest thing I'm excited about, and I've brought this up before, is that I never wanted to go back and play it because I mega loathe one of the voice actors in the original, and I can't not hear his voice without me clenching a fist and wanting to punch something. But so now that they have new graphics, new VAs, I am very excited to like take the plunge again.
All right, cool. Yeah, I was like, I thought you had played it, but then you were saying you were trying to avoid spoilers, and I was like, I'm confused now. Hold on, which part of my memory is incorrect? Yeah, that guy. All right, so now we get to hear this guy plot out loud.
The rest will go as you mentioned.
Chuckle, chuckle.
I was gonna say chuckle, but I had a mouthful of whiskey.
Still, I'm truly amazed at the atrocious methods you come up with.
Oh, Jesus. Like, you're plenty evil on your own, so if you're amazed at how atrocious he is, that's, that's the fucking Undertale sound again.
He looks like he has bad breath, too.
I'm not even on the train right now. I'm not even here!
Maybe that's you. You're low polygon playing the PSP right in center frame.
God. I mean, it does kind of look like a low poly version of me, but... Hurry up and execute them? Is that the message I just saw? What? Hi.
Muffin, I've been hearing a lot of rumblings and rumors. I don't know if it's just wishful thinking for a remake of Chrono Trigger, which, I mean, I would certainly be interested in, for sure.
What's going on?
Did you ever play Chrono Trigger, or have you just heard Pathos and then me a little bit talk about it?
So, my playing of Chrono Trigger was the quintessential 90s kid experience where this is going to sound old for a lot of people in the chat.
Oh, no, we've already established a lot of old early on in the stream,
cool.
so you're good.
Yeah. So what I used to do as a child, I would have my parents take me to a video game rental store. And I would rent it, and you would get it for 3 days. So I played 3 days of it and went, this is kind of neat, but not my thing. I did not appreciate JRPGs until I became much older. And now I appreciate them like fine wines.
Based on what I know that you like about Persona, I feel like adult you would enjoy Chrono Trigger.
I think so too. I mean, I've seen like people do playthroughs and summaries of it. So again, like I know the story beats of it. I know that there's like 22 different endings. I think I would enjoy it as well, but I think I'm also kind of lazy in my parental life that like I kind of don't want to go through the jank of an NES game at my age, SNES. Like I'll wait for a remake.
Yeah, I didn't play it when it was originally a thing. I played it on my there was a DS version when I had a DS, and so that was my first experience with it. And it worked the exact same way for me that every other game of that style has gone. It is the exact same way that Mass Effect went for a while before I made myself finish it. It is the exact same thing that happened with Dragon Age and all that, where I did all of the things and I got to what should have been the final boss fight, and I just never went and did the final boss fight. Not out of I don't want it to be over, but like, it took me so long to get there that I was burned out on it before I got to the end. So it's like, I got to where I could fight the final boss of Chrono Trigger, and I think I attempted the fight once, and without giving spoilers, there's a lot of factors that go into how you do that fight, and I think I made the wrong choices and it didn't go well, and I was like, I need to do it again, and I just literally never did. Just didn't.
I appreciate that you not wanting to spoil a 20-plus-year-old game.
Hey, it's one of those things that, like, if I know someone hasn't experienced it, and we're not actively streaming it, like when someone was upset that I spoiled Persona 4 in a conversation after I had finished streaming Persona 4, it's like, you know, we all experienced that together. That's not on me. But, like, we just had a conversation about people who have not, like, I know that you have not completed Chrono Trigger. So, like, in the event that if they do actually do a remake and you're going to play it, I'm going to respect that. So, like, if I was just randomly talking on Twitter, I might say something because I'm like, it is a 20-year, you know, a multi-decade-old thing. Whatever, but like we're engaged in an active conversation, and I know you haven't gotten to the end of it, so I'm not gonna say it. I feel like that's just like the respectful, like, good person response to that.
That is very fair, and I can appreciate you putting positive, good person politeness vibes into the universe, because God knows we need it.
I know there's not a lot of it out there, so especially even coming from me. So I'm gonna take the wins where I can. Where it's like this is a place I can be a good example.
You know what? Speaking of putting positive vibes into the universe, I've come up with yet a new metric to gauge the mental well-being of Americans.
Is it how many people respond to Elmo?
Yes, it is exactly how many people respond to Elmo. It is the Elmo metric.
Elmo fucking, I know whoever runs that social media was not prepared for exactly the avalanche they were gonna get. And the fact that they got literally every other Sesame Street character, like, Twitter to also chime in, I was like, they just assembled the fucking Avengers for this.
Yeah.
God.
Like, I can imagine, like, it started kicking off, like, they're at their desk. Like, I imagine the Elmo social media manager sits next to, like, Grover.
Yeah.
And they just kind of lean over. It's like, hey man, is this thing real? Like, is this kicking off? And like the Elmo social media manager is smoking 3 cigarettes at once. Like,
the Oscar the Grouch one has just been laying on the floor since like 2015. Just
yeah.
Oh man. Oh no, I wasn't looking. She's asking me a question. All right.
Do you know this one?
The total count for. Wait, what are the rules for the square? Wait, what are the rules for the square? Is this like a Sudoku thing? What's...
You left trigger, your left thumbstick is the log.
Square in which adding up the numbers at any row, column, or diagonal gives you the same total. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm missing... Where's my notebook? Where's my notebook? We're not gonna whiteboard this because I just freshly put a bunch of shit on my whiteboard today that I can't show that on stream. All right.
Is it more spells that will make me disappointed?
Probably. No, that's not the side I updated, but that side did get long enough. I've had to start curving the text.
Oh no.
I ran out of room when you got upset about blur.
Was it blur or enhanceability? Enhanceability.
Oh no, enhanceability was the second thing I ever put on that list. That has been on there for at this point years.
That's sad.
Would you like to? We're gonna put a pin in this. Write this down when we get to D&D session time. I will tell you all of the things that are on this list.
Okay, I'm writing it down on my post.
All right, so I'm gonna. So we've got. I need to make a grid. I need to write on stuff. I'm gonna do math now, everybody. See, I'm missing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 5. Those are the things I'm missing. Okay. That's currently 13, and that's currently 13. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That has to be. Okay, that's 12, so that has to be. All right, so whatever goes in the left one has to be one more than whatever goes in the upper right. Because the left column currently is adding to 12, and the top row and the right column both currently add to 13. Okay.
I wonder if this is how teach math.
Oh, robot James.
Oh, it was funny. What I said was funny.
Okay, well now you just have to repeat it.
I wonder if this is how they teach kids math in Japan by using Sudoku.
You sounded so sad. All right, the bottom's currently 14. So I think it's got to be 1 in the bottom, 2 in the left, 3 in the upper right. So now that's 14. No. I did this wrong. That's 12 because that's 16. That's 16. But that's only 14. That's not right. Okay. Nope. Oh, wait. No, you should be 2 and you should be 3. I think I did that in the wrong order. So now that's 14, 15. 15. 15. All right. And you're in theory 15. Got it. I fucking got it. 15. Everything's 15.
This is it.
Correct.
2 went in the upper right, 3 went in the left, 1 went in the bottom, 5 went in the middle. There you go, in case anybody wanted to know. Got there.
Yay. You did it.
Anyways, what are we fucking talking about?
Yeah, so in Flash, like, if you're not getting the whole Elmo thing, so my is dark and full of terrors, and Sesame
you're
Street
getting
is one
robot
of the few
again. What the
places-
fuck?
Oh.
That's weird
again,
to have.
the internet does not...
That's too close together, robots.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
Like, the internet does not want to hear my wisdom parted onto chat. I think with Sesame Street and Elmo, with so much dark and terrible things happening in the world, there's a certain unimpeachable good about Sesame Street that's wholesome, that there is a charm or a safety net in Sesame Street that I think people just needed.
Yeah. I think
that's why it kicked off.
So there's also that. So to anybody who genuinely does like, what are we talking about? The Elmo Twitter account posted, "Hey everybody, just checking in. How are you doing?" And every reply, quote tweet, and all that was like, "Not good," in varying forms. So because everything is terrible objectively across the board. So that was what happened. And then the Elmo account and literally every other Sesame Street account like kind of replied, quote tweeted, and being like, "Hey, like, really glad we asked. Like, it's important to take care of yourselves and like take breaks and like do this, and like if you ever need to," like, the Cookie Monster woman was like, "If you ever need an ear, I'm here. Also, I'll bring cookies." Like, but it was like the Elmo account was just trying to be wholesome and be like, "How's everybody doing?" And literally like 50,000 people were like, "Fucking terrible. Have you been outside?"
I was waiting. I was waiting for the social media manager to start getting like super snarky, like, and just jaded. But kudos to them. Like, I hope they were like trading off. But like, I was waiting for like, like imagining the Elmo voice of like, "Elmo, I don't know what to do. Everything's not good." And then social media manager just not having us. "Have you tried touching grass?" "Elmo thinks you should touch grass."
I would pay money to have a recording of the Elmo voice being like, "Have you tried touching grass?"
You know, if you're in the market, I used to do voices for bits back when that was a thing.
Oh my god. God, remember that.
I do. I also, yeah. Still a little jaded at Connor. Totally his fault, but you know, it is what it is. We've moved on. We're all adults here, and we're not bitter or holding a vendetta.
Definitely all moved on from that.
You know who hasn't moved on? Connor, because he's still stuck on the tarmac.
God. Chaos. And,
Yes.
Oh, here our phones go. Of course he's asking. To be fair, you, Ryuji, you do nothing. You please do nothing. Anything you touch will be terrible. Don't do it. Just leave it to Gwen and I. It'll be fine.
Ryuji is the person in like a forced group project where everyone just recognizes that if you touch something, it can only make it worse. So just, just show up, but just don't. You can take a nap.
Yeah.
You can sharpen pencils. You can organize the paper clips. Whatever. Just please, just do not touch the project.
Like, I appreciate, but here's the thing is about the group project analogy. I appreciate that he was like, "How can I help?" And we're all like, "Please don't." As opposed to being the one who's like, "Y'all are gonna do the work, and I'm just gonna chill," because I always got stuck in those groups. So at least he's willing to help, and we can tell him to organize the paper clips, so that way we're good on that front. Flash, there is nothing more to know about Connor. He's a great photographer, and also he constantly has, like, his travel is cursed. Those are the two things to know.
And he made me lose a contest where I worked very hard, and I felt like I earned my bits.
You
but
really did.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Hey, but now there's a bunch of new
well.
content in Stardew, so maybe we can have a round 2. No, I'm gonna do a round 2. I will start another farm at some point. I'm not doing that to anybody ever again.
I don't know. I had fun. I had fun. Of course, the panic of, wait, we're still in the mines. It's 11 o'clock. We're not going to make it home.
Oh my god, the amount of panic from that was fucking great. I had totally forgotten that I had done a group farm with some other people too. That I had done one with some of the broadcast bunch for a bit. That I think we recorded and we're planning to put out. We just never put it out, and I forgot about this until Christian brought it up. He's like, "Remember how Ben kept blocking your house so when we would be in the mines till too late, you couldn't get into your house and go to bed, so you would have to pass out on your porch?" And I was like, "I don't remember this at all." And he was like, "Yeah," and started recounting specific things, and I was like, "I had blocked this memory." I remember one time I got into the house and he had put a bunch of the trees, the potted decoration trees. I don't know why I put the emphasis on decoration like that. But he had surrounded my bed with them, so I got into the house but then couldn't get to my bed, and so I passed out in my house. And I was like, I remember why we stopped doing that now that you mention it, actually.
Yeah, we just did fun and cheeky things like hiding a piece of jewelry in a camouflage chest in just out of bounds.
The hiding of the jewelry, I think, was one of the greatest bits that we did. I think that was a wonderful idea, however it was that got started. That was great.
I also remember, and I might be misremembering this or misattributing this, but I think Ashley built an altar in her basement of her house.
Damn it.
Do Stardew houses have basements?
When you do the second upgrade, they do.
Oh yeah, they do. I do remember this now. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I remember there being yeah, I guess there were basements. She did have an altar. No, someone had an altar somewhere. That has Ashley energy to it for sure.
Was it the cave? Was it the fruit cave?
I don't know. Ashley, chime in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're recorded or published anywhere that we could go take a quick look, but
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is I don't know those did go to YouTube, I think. Never mind. I was like, I don't know if they are recorded. That might have been from the weird void. This is voice acted, so we're gonna do this now.
You don't need to keep mentioning it. We're doing this to keep suspicions off of us, remember?
I feel like those detectives would have bugged this room. This is where we were doing all the interviews. Maybe shut the fuck up.
Goro Akechi. This one too, Akechi.
This feels like another setup.
They're mostly the same over here as well.
Although I guess with all the Phantom Thief stuff going on, this does kind of make sense. All right.
Everyone's so eloquent when they can be anonymous. It's like they never accepted us to begin with. It would be nice if you did some work too, Ryuji-kun. You came to help us count these, right?
No, he came because Gwen told him to, and I'm actually okay with I'm not sure he can count. I think once he runs out of fingers, we're gonna be screwed. So this is probably fine.
Come on, leader. Can you tell him too?
Pathos, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to call me out like that. Why you do this to me?
And boom goes the farm. What a great title.
It was, look, mistakes were made. I've never, this video is proof that I have never been good at hotkeys. I've never been good at hotkeys and clicking the right buttons. So handing me a game like this was just a fucking mistake. And you all knew it and it's recorded evidence. I'm gonna take this seriously.
We're gathering information too. You know, like online and stuff.
I don't know. Flashing I bet Gwen make sure there are no bugs in the room. I don't think she thought of that because it didn't occur to her that, like, the fucking cafe was bugged. And that's how Futaba got into our shit. And even after that, still didn't resolve anything. And Gwen is still one of the people talking about all this shit on text message. This version of Gwen is the smartest of this group by far, but that is a low bar to clear.
I guess that's one way of saying it.
That is one way of saying it,
Look
Jen.
here. This ain't good.
Criminal profiling? The acts of thievery committed by the Phantom Thieves are mere fakes.
Oh, great.
And their true goal is murder? Every heart they changed before Okumura was just a warm-up?
So now they're accusing us of being a bunch of killers.
God, this is so effing stupid. Damn it.
We have the results. First place is Goro Akechi.
What? Akechi?
Okay, you gotta pay this is some Sam Riegel energy. I need you to pay attention to what's happening at the table, please.
What are you so
Focus
surprised
hands.
for? We've been mentioning him this whole time.
Thank you, An.
Seriously? Not some singer or an idol?
It's because of us
No
that his
Risei.
popularity has skyrocketed.
We're the ones counting the results. Can't we just make him up? We don't have to get him.
Oh my god. Ryuji, stop.
People will figure that out. He won by a landslide.
I knew people would vote for him, but this is way more votes than I was expecting.
It would be best for us to avoid inviting such a clear danger upon ourselves.
But if you fucking fudge it, everyone will know, and that will be more suspicious.
I'd like a little more time to think about who to ask. That reminds me. How is Futaba-chan doing? She seemed like she was looking into something on her own. Has she told you anything?
Of course not! You'll do that one.
You're not gonna get arrested because the police tracked her down, right?
Do I have anything else live that I'm not supposed to right now? I don't see any extra windows open. Okay, it says we're back. Like, what's weird is I've had green bars the whole time. So that's weird. James, can you say something?
I can certainly say something. Persona 3 comes out this Friday. That's not an endorsement, but you should play the game.
Okay. OBS says I'm back. Other people in the chat said we were back, but they said we were back before OBS said we were. Like, mine still said reconnecting, so I want somebody else to say I'm good.
You look good on my end from Twitch.
Okay, great. All right, so we'll continue. Anyways, this is voice acted again. Everyone missed the voice on the TV saying the thing that's on the screen. So, in response to the police identifying the Phantom Thieves as primary suspects, Goro Akechi had this to say. That's what you've missed. And now we're caught back up.
Man, was that Ray Chase? That was an incredible impression.
Even though my opinion has been met with criticism, I've held fast that the Phantom Thieves are not just.
I still think you're the murderer.
However, I believe the recent series of suspicious deaths is unrelated to their actions.
I feel like you're the murderer who has realized that you've made an oopsie based on that.
What? Did I hear you correctly? But Akechi-san, you were the first to caution everyone about the Phantom Thieves. Were you not?
Are you at least smart enough to recognize that what they've been doing doesn't make them murderers, that they're, like, outside the law, but, like, in a very specific lie by not saying something untrue kind of way and not by saying things that are false?
This doesn't change the fact that they are indeed a dangerous group. That said, I would like to express that immediately linking them to this case is far too hasty.
Yeah, did you realize that you've been fucking played?
There are still many questions to be answered here. It feels as though there is more to this.
After this conference, Akechi-san announced he will be limiting his media appearances.
Oh, Willie now! Yeah, I wonder why! Oh no, you're stuck. That's not good. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go see if Jeff is doing anything with our internet. Because I just got red bars and it just said I dropped 20% of my frames. So, hey everybody. If you can hear me, I don't know if you can. I'm gonna leave, James, I'm gonna leave you in charge for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to Jeff and see if he's doing something because, yeah, I just got red bars. So something's clearly going on, and at this point, I'm convinced it's my internet. So I'm gonna go figure that out. Y'all try to talk, and I guess this is also, instead of going to break, I'm leaving this up here so that way chat is encouraged to try to do something, so that way I can tell if it's back or not. So give me a second, I will BRB.
Hey everyone, I am your chaperone during this technical issues. It's great to have you here tonight. I'm gonna use my radio voice because I don't get to use this often anymore because people don't give me bits for this voice anymore. I hope you're all doing well today. I know Muffin is going to be playing Persona 3 Reloaded on Friday. I wanted to take a mental health day on Friday to play the game, but a lot of people at my office scheduled very important meetings for Friday that I can't move, and that makes me a very sad panda. But still going to play the game on Friday, and I'm very excited for it. And also, as Pathos called out, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline 2 Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 dropped a gameplay video, and for pre-alpha, you know, it's funny because the first game was so glitchy that the pre-alpha version of 2 looks about the same as the release version of the first game. So, progress? And I think I hear Jen back. Jen, back to you.
Yes, okay, so variety of things. Number one, Ashley, I hope you know if you were doing the Mario sound, because of James and his meetings, he didn't hear it. So there's that. If you were doing that because the stream keeps dying, well played. Second of all, I figured out what was going on. And I've been told, James, this is your fault, actually. The internet was bad. Because Jeff was trying to download the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC in preparation for his trip to Europe coming up.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's really important. I think we should just kill the stream now because that's very important.
Yeah. I was like, I went into the... Oh, excuse me, Xenoblade 3. I said the wrong fucking number. You all understood what I was doing.
I knew exactly what you meant, but I didn't want to correct you.
You knew, but Jeff felt the need to come into the room to correct me.
Well, I'm a guest on your stream, and I'm not married to you, so I felt like I played my part appropriately.
Yeah. So I muted my mic and I went and I saw him and I was like, hey, you wouldn't happen to be like downloading anything right now or anything, would you? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing the DLC. Why? And I'm like, because my stream keeps crashing. And he's like, So there we go. So in theory, no more Buffer Town.
How will Jeff get his Xenoblade 3 DLC?
He can download it while I'm at work tomorrow.
Oh, that's fair.
He can do literally any time other than this 3-hour window where I heavily use our internet. Literally any other time is fine. Why it needed to be right now, I don't know.
Well, I do know our internet is going to be hemorrhaging on Friday because not only does Persona 3 drop, but the big update for Honkai Star Rail also drops on Friday, which I think is rude to try to split my interest like that. But it's also Groundhog Day, which is one of my favorite holidays of the year.
So many things happening on Friday.
I know, so it's going to be a competition between Persona 3, Honkai, and watching Bill Murray in one of the best holiday movies of all time.
It is a very good movie. Ay. All right, anyways, I'm sorry that a bunch of meetings got scheduled on your day that you had intended to take off to have be your Persona 3 day. My condolences.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I've been in the office today and yesterday because a lot of people from out of town came in, and today was an interesting day because I was in 2 separate meetings with the president of our company, and he had very nice things to say to me, and I'm like, all right. Yeah, like I'll take that. I'll take that Elmo positivity from our president.
Oh, are you going through a breakup?
Why is that the thing that you thought I was dealing with, Sojiro? Pretty much, I mean, we're talking about planning the school festival. I can answer that honestly.
Oh, you tap into your
no
inner
need to
Vasile.
deny it so seriously. It was just a joke.
My feelings aren't a joke!
By the way, you haven't been causing any trouble, have you?
Nope, definitely not.
I heard the police showed up at your school.
That could be for any number of reasons. Technically is though, so I'm not gonna lie. No need to worry. Go with that.
As long as you're not getting involved. Well, fine.
Okay. Sure, fine. Great. You're not gonna let me leave.
Totally cool.
So
Yeah.
are you? Oh, I can leave! Oh my god, yes! I can actually leave at night. All right. Can I get to...
What are you gonna do?
What's this fuck? It's grayed out still.
Yeah, so something needs to happen to story-wise to unlock the next social link.
All right, well, where's the bookstore? That one. Let me buy something new.
Incredible.
Welcome.
Yes! Yes! All right, what do I fucking need still? I think it's kindness, proficiency, and guts.
Yes.
Because I've
You're
maxed out
charmed
intelligence and what? Charm. Okay,
and,
yes.
And charm.
Give me that book. Don't need charm. Don't need knowledge. Proficiency, give me that book. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all the books.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, so you can't level.
Why
you
is
can't advance
her stuff?
because you need to go to mementos to change your mom.
Fucking Mishima, and I can't do Akechi, and oh my god, why is he grayed out all of a sudden? That's weird.
Because you need. Oh, because I don't think you've advanced it. Like, you finally have enough guts to actually, like, advance it.
Yeah, I had, like, and for a long time it's been saying I could go, like, and do that, but the fact that it's grayed out is weird. Unless Morgana's gonna be like, don't go to a fucking gun shop when we need to be laying low. That might be what's happening. Okay, great. Oopsies. No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I kind of forgot I was here and I only had one fucking option. Okay, so we're gonna go home now. I guess.
Either that or you go to the jazz club and take Gwen on a date.
On principle, I would like to do that, but I feel like I need to be getting my stats and shit up. So we're gonna go to the cafe and we're gonna fucking... Oh, wait! It doesn't matter, it's the same amount of money anyways. I need to go get a different DVD because I finished the one. The thing happened! Liz, thank you for the 39 months! You're here, so I take it D&D is not happening. Where do I get... The DVDs were in Shibuya?
Central
and
Street.
that's Central Street. Okay, and it's like taking a hard right when I first get here.
Correct. Bookstore is a hard left. I made that mistake last week, and that somehow was my one of my 5.
That was one of your fucky wuckies. I want to go back and listen to that stream and figure out what all 5 of the fucky wuckies were.
Take a look around.
Let's see. Okay. What else you got on your list? I only have, I think, I have 2 non-D&D things, so.
Yeah. So I have 3 non-D&D things. This one, there is no segue or setup for this. This is one of these, I had an idea as I was getting ready for bed, and I ran downstairs to write it down because I thought it was so funny to me. I'm thinking back to Mass Effect.
Please, take your time.
It would be really hard for an Elcor to gaslight someone.
Okay.
I don't know, like, I just had to, like, because they narrate how they're feeling, so I'm imagining, like, an Elcor and a human, like, start a business on the Citadel, and the Elcor goes, sarcastic.
Oh.
I'm sure that was really good for him, wasn't it? And then the human's like, are you giving me attitude? And then the Elcor goes, indignant. No. It's like, you can't gaslight someone when you have to tell them.
I kind of forgot that they always said their emotions.
Oh.
Okay, these are
Those
all...
poor
Oh, it's chunky. You can never drink all the kernels. Gross.
Yummy.
Are there other... no, those are the only vending machines here. I was like, I just want soda pop ones, so I don't care. So I think we're going home now. Okay.
Yeah. So I had no segue. There was no setup, but I just had that thought of like, it'd be really hard for Melkor to gaslight people. Can they lie? Like, canonically, can they lie, or are they like 100% honest in their tone of voice at all times?
Speaking of not having segues, try to process that one. Since we were shitting on Jeff ruining the stream, I need to talk about a thing that happened with Jeff. I need to talk about a thing because it started with Jeff, but it became a conversation about why I realized that I was super not cut out for corporate culture. I need to recant a story that happened here. Jeff comes into my office and asks me, do you have a pencil? And this is a reasonable thing for him to come all the way up here to ask me while I'm in my office, because we are a pen household. A pencil is a rarity. But because of some of the crafting stuff that I do, a pencil is more useful. So it is not, but like it makes sense that there's not one like in his office and things like that. So he comes up and asks me, do you have a pencil? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And so I get up from my computer desk to go over to my workbench area where I reasonably have a pencil. And as I'm walking over there, he goes, oh, but it needs to have an eraser. And again, this is a reasonable thing to specify, because I think we've all been there where we've had a mechanical pencil that has a small enough eraser, or even a regular pencil, I guess, that had a small enough eraser that you burned through that long before you burned through the pencil.
Yes.
She's like, it needs to have an eraser. And I'm like, okay. And so I go and I grab the pencil off my desk and I hand it to him. And he stares at it. And I go, this is not what you wanted. And he's like, no, because I handed him a mechanical pencil. He goes, I need specifically like a regular pencil. I need like the pink eraser from a regular pencil.
Like a number 2 pencil.
Like, yeah, like your standard, like yellow, like classic pencil. Because what he was trying to do is there's apparently a certain kind, like you can use those on Lego pieces to remove marks that are on them. For whatever reason, that is just something about like how those materials work with each other, that you can do that without fucking up the finish of the plastic, but remove scuffs and things like that. And I'm staring at him and I'm like, if you needed a pink eraser, why did you ask me for a pencil? Because you weren't asking if I had a pencil. Why did we go through this like path of other questions to still not end up at where you wanted? Instead of you just asking for, hey, do you have one of those pink erasers from like a classic pencil? Go to that question. And I'm like, I don't understand why this conversation happened the way it did. And then I was like, this was why I always got so frustrated in every meeting I was ever a part of in corporate world, because that's how every meeting happened, is no one asks the question for the answer they're looking for. They feel like we all need to go on a journey together. It's got to be an adventure, instead of just being like, this is the information I'm looking for. Here's the question. And they instead start at like, what's the most basic foundational part of that? And then we're just going to ask more specific questions to eventually get there. And then you spend 40 minutes talking about a thing that could have just been, that's why like this meeting could have been an email. It's because the email would have been that final question where they finally asked the thing they wanted, instead of all the other shit to get there. And I about had a stroke. So hey, pro tip, just like everybody, in meetings, personal life, whatever, ask the question for the answer you actually want. And if the question that you actually want the answer to needs context, the thing that I started doing a couple of years ago, and I don't remember like where I picked it up from, but like somebody did it, and I was like, this is a great method to this, is I will ask one of those base questions and then say, like here's this. The question behind the question is this. I will immediately follow with that. It's like, I've given you the context and the larger question that, like, maybe we need some of that information, but ultimately what I'm trying to get to is this.
Yeah.
It saves so much time!
I 100% agree. A lot of my emails, and I've tried to be more conscious of doing this, especially during the pandemic, since everyone has been remote, and my company continues to be mostly remote, which I'm very applauding, thumbs up for that. With my emails, I will do the very first sentence of the actual email. Like once I get pleasantries out of the way of like, oh hey Dave, how was your weekend? I hope all is going well.
We're gonna fucking talk about pleasantries in a second too, but continue your story.
Oh boy, I'm dangerously close to first thing on the punch card, but tonight. But I will then do the like what normally is like the final statement of the the journey to the west that a lot of people like to go on.
Has Nijima-san told you anything about the
Finish your thing, and then we'll go back to whatever the fuck Mercer wants to say.
Yeah, so usually like people will go on that journey, and then like the last sentence of the email is like the thesis of the email or the question. I'll just put that first, and then immediately below I'll just say context, and then like a body of paragraph of like,
Thank you.
That's how I do my emails, and maybe this won't be a surprise to you, Jen. Surprisingly effective at getting the answer that I need.
Yeah! God, yeah, especially in email form, when people do that back and forth thing where it's like, that's even longer than it was if it would have just been in a meeting. Like, that's the email that should have been a meeting if you're going to go through all the other 47 questions first just to get to the thing you actually wanted.
Yeah.
The pleasantries thing. I think it's fine in an email to be like, hey, how was your weekend, blah, blah, blah. What would fucking kill me is when someone would message me on Slack, Teams, so whatever the instant messenger thing for that company was, when someone would just be like, hey, how are you? And it's like, you're not talking to me because you actually care. You have a question. I don't care about the pleasantries. If you are talking to me for a purpose, I am managing a team of 10 animation people right now. I have 10 people working on shots. I need you to get to the fucking point.
Yeah. I 70% agree with you. Here is the 30% where I will politely
I like how you know what version of Jen you've got right now, and you're
I am going to politely look at the other side. How I use that, because sometimes I will do that. If I am looking for an answer, like, so for example, I manage a team of people. I have 9 people reporting to me. I know that one of my team members knows the answer off the top of their head. I know that for a fact. I will still start off with the pleasantry, because if they don't respond right away, I know they are either busy or doing something else, so then I can use that time to try to find the answer myself. Instead of, if I just send the answer off to them, then I'm kind of like waiting for them to respond. But this is like my kind of like a little notification of like, okay, are you present? Can you speak right now? And then like, if I don't get a response right away, I'm like, okay, they are busy. I will try to find out myself instead of waiting around for a response. That's how I use it.
I mean, here's the thing, is I feel like there's a difference between, and maybe I'm accidentally calling you out. I don't know. We're gonna find out here in a second. It was when people would just send me messages that just said hey, or then said, hey, how's it going? With nothing else. I'm like, I know that's not the point. If they went, hey, how's it going? Had a question, here's the question. I think the pleasantries can be included in the message, but when all the initial message just to figure out if I'm there or responsive or whatever is just the pleasantries, it's like, I'm not gonna respond to your fucking pleasantries. If you have a purpose, I will answer that when I can. And so I feel like they're like, hey, how was your weekend? Had a question, here's the question. Whatever. give it an appropriate amount of time. And if somebody's not answering, be like, cool, I do need to go try to hunt this down, and they can answer the pleasantry part later. So when they do eventually, like, you know, I can follow up and be like, hey, actually, I figured it out. Would love to catch up later. Whatever. I feel like then you have closed the loop. You've done the social obligation of the pleasantry. You've gotten to the point, and you haven't wasted their time because you did go and figure it out. You heard it here first, Jennison Pleasant. Pathos. You all have been watching me stream for a number of years? Yes! This is a correct statement. I got too much shit to do. I am happy to be pleasant in the context of whatever other fucking social situation is happening. But if somebody just is gonna send me like, hey, can I ask you a question with nothing else, is one of the worst messages I can fucking get. Ask the goddamn question. Because the social contract that says you have to do the pleasantries first before you get to the point, I don't got time for that shit. I am happy to catch up with people and answer the pleasantry stuff and whatever. I would love to actually know how all the things are going on, and I'd love to tell you all these things. If the point is that you actually care, if the point is you have another question and you don't care and you're just saying the thing, fuck that and fuck you, because you don't actually care. And so me putting in the effort and energy to answer that and make that maybe potentially a level of vulnerability of being like, hey, like Elmo, not great. No, if you weren't prepared for not great, and if you ask with the expectation that all I'm gonna do is go, super, Jeff came in here.
For no particular reason, I feel like you need a hug.
Hi.
Hi, James.
Ashley's here, so.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Mwah!
Jeff,
enjoy your stream. Like
Jeff, I did lobby for Jen to cancel the stream so you could download the Xenoblade 3 DLC.
James, he can't hear you.
I know, you can tell him.
I can hear you in my heart.
He says he can hear you in his heart.
And all he's hearing is just me yelling, Xenoblade! So, I will say, to all of that, I understand where you're coming from, and I do share similar feelings on the disingenuousness of some people just doing that out of social obligation. I like to think that I actually care. Like, if I ask you how you're doing and I know it's leading into another question, I actually do care how you are doing. Like, because most of my team is remote. If they were in person, or like anyone I work with, if they were in person and I went up to them, I would ask them, like, hey, like, if this is the first time I'm interacting with them today, I would ask them, hey, how are you doing? How was your weekend? Cool. And then, you know, like, okay, let's talk about work a little bit. Like, if I've already been talking with someone on Slack or any chat, and like I've already done the social pleasantries, I'm not going to keep doing it every single time I'm going to ask them a question. I am treating it like they were in a physical place with me, that I wouldn't just roll. I'm not the kind of person just to roll up to their cube and like, hey, where's this information? You know, like, that's not my MO.
And here's the thing, is the people who would roll up to my fucking cube and do the pleasantries, and I'm like, you didn't get out of your chair to walk over here for pleasantries. I'm literally writing reports to the FDA, and I can get deposed on this shit if I don't do it well. What the fuck do you want?
I mean, I can't defend them, but I do care. I would like to know. I would like to know how you were doing.
Yeah, it was. I think. Here's the thing: as I do think you are the exception. That I think you're not going to ask that of somebody you don't actually want to ask that to. It's like an animation studio that I will not name. I would get Slack messages that would just say, hey, what do you, I hit the wrong fucking button with my foot. What do you want? You're not just saying, hey, and then occasionally be, hey, how's it going? And it's like, again, you don't, like, this is your lead in for a question. Send the fucking question. Like, and there may even be a part of it that was genuine of like, I do actually want to know like how you are doing, but that was not, you wanting to know how I was doing isn't what prompted the conversation. You wouldn't have asked me this question if you didn't have another reason to talk to me. So get to that. We can do we can circle back to the pleasantry shit later. But like, you were prompted for another purpose to come to this space, whether that be physical meat space or virtual space, whatever. You didn't come here just to see what was up. So just dump it all at once so I understand what the point of all this is. Because in the moment that I have to answer your how's it going, that might have been the only moment I have to answer the actual thing you got here, that brought you here. That might be it. So like, do it all at once. Anyways, that's that soapbox. I can't wait. Guys, if you didn't know, I warned James earlier, we're going to be soapboxing during D&D time. So you're going to get 2 soapboxes tonight.
Yeah.
Ha-ha!
Just the last thing, and we'll put a pin in this before PETA calls on us for beating a dead horse.
A horse that doesn't have a fucking name. Ashley! We're fine. Everything's fine.
See, I was hoping you wouldn't call out the segue so I could use it again later, but you're too smart for me.
No, I'm too... I've had too much delicious whiskey for this. Yeah. That's what's happened.
So, just to put a pin in this, since we are talking about pleasantries and all of that. Hey, chat, if you ever reach out to me, I appreciate the pleasantries because I know you care. So please, I love the pleasantries before your question.
James, this reminds me, there's going to be an after-stream conversation you and I have.
Yay.
You're going to laugh, I promise. But it isn't. I can't have the conversation on stream.
Okay.
Anyways, back to the voice-acted cutscene. Can we talk about how great Gwen's outfit off of school outfit is? I fucking love this. I want this jacket.
Are you saying like a possible cosplay opportunity?
If I could find that jacket, absolutely.
Cool. Chat, get on it.
I already have boots like that.
Stop mentioning anything about work in front of me. It's possible I made some sort of mistake.
Or she recognizes she's investigating your school that you go to. That's also possible.
Regardless, I thought over the matter of who we're going to invite for our school festival. I'm considering asking Akechi-kun.
Yeah, we should, because that's the least suspicious thing to do.
Hey, Jen, can we pause for a quick second?
Sure, hands off the controller, what's up?
Muffin wants to know why we're calling her Gwen.
That's right, Muffin's not, Muffin was new to this, so we had to talk about we had to talk about why we're playing Persona despite the fact I hate it. So, for a long time I couldn't remember everybody's names, and so everybody had nicknames for stuff, so this is not kanji, for example. So Makoto is Gwen because I noticed very quickly that Makoto has a lot of parallels to my D&D character, who is a wizard named Gwen, to like a frightening degree. Like, even like plot points, there's some things where I'm like, okay, we need to... I had not played this game before I made my character. There's some things happening here, and it's such a specific parallel. This might be what James is trying to say. James's wife, at one point while you were playing this game, made a comment about how Makoto was like, this feels a lot like Jen's D&D character.
It's true.
So that's what we call her Gwen, is because Gwen is my wizard, who's also having a time. So like at this point, so we have not Kanji, Ana's Kyoko, because it's the same voice actor as Kyoko Kirigiri from Danganronpa. Not Kanji, Matt Mercer, Robbie Damon, Sandals is Maruki, Ponytail for gymnast.
Kasumi.
I can't remember her name.
Kasumi.
There we go. That thing that he said. So yeah, there we go. I can't think of any. Haru never. We were so beyond nicknames to the point that Haru came. Like, Haru's too new to have a nickname at this point.
The internet community around Persona just calls her Floof because her hair is.
Floof. Here's the thing is I take that personally because her hair is what mine used to look like when I was like in middle school and stuff, and I hadn't figured out how straighteners worked, and my hair is, and I hadn't figured out that if you have curly hair, you shouldn't brush it. So like people would make fun of my quote unquote triangle hair because it was so poofy because of humidity and brushing it, because it was like at like between chin and shoulder length. So, like, that feels very hurtful to me, and I'm not going to call her that.
Fair. I mean, don't kill the messenger. That's
yeah, I
just
was like,
the
you didn't
internet
know.
community.
This is me telling everybody. So yeah. So it's like, I don't have a nickname for her. I don't have a nickname for Futaba. But everybody else has nicknames.
Weren't you talking about how you didn't want to draw danger to us or whatever?
Yeah, but if he won by a landslide, if we ignore him, we intentionally didn't want him here, that looks bad.
I understand this is dangerous.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, that kind of shit.
But without a powerful source of intel, we won't be able to win against the police network.
That's not the angle I thought you were gonna go for, but also true.
And I can no longer rely on my sister for information.
Wait, is this because of Akechi-kun's police connections?
Oh, the brain cell's not in this room.
You're going to use him as your powerful source of intel? Bold move. I'm surprised to hear that suggestion coming from you, Makoto.
Did you see his press conference yesterday? One of his comments defending the Phantom Thieves stood out to me. There is more to this. I think he said that knowing for certain that the Phantom Thieves would be watching.
Still, there will be so many other students at the school festival. What are the odds of success?
Well, considering this is a room full of protagonists, pretty high.
It's a gamble, and the odds are less than favorable. But we can no longer afford to hesitate.
I think we should hesitate a little bit more. The not hesitating is what kind of led to the Okumura thing. I'm gonna be super honest here.
What are your thoughts? Should we invite Akechi-kun?
I can already tell they're not even on the screen. I can tell I'm gonna hate all of these options. Oh, I hate them all, but not for the reasons I thought I was going to. It should not, no, that one feels wrong. This feels like I'm completely putting off responsibility. I'm gonna go with this. We're gonna conversation.
I'm not, but we have to do this.
That's a Gwen line if I've ever fucking heard one.
Is everyone else okay with that?
This exact conversation right here is gonna happen next Saturday. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Whatever he says has got to be more reliable than what I've been able to come up with.
It would be reassuring to gain him as an ally, rather than simply a source of information.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. Alright, hold on. If this fucker... At this exact moment, I'm convinced he's actually the assassin. I'm convinced of that. Because he was clearly in the vicinity when we got pulled into Okumura's palace the first time, and that has not come up at all. He clearly knows we were in there. He knows that. And it hasn't been said. So he knows, and he's clearly also deflecting right now too with that press conference and the thing he said to Sai, or it like, he knows and is also like, I know they're not responsible for the deaths. I'm convinced he's responsible for the deaths, but this right here, this sentence feels like an implication that he's going to be the new, I was just say companion, because I've seen too many people talking about Baldur's Gate, new party member potential when we go, because we get a new one every time we go into a fucking palace. Is he going to be the new person we get access to going into Sai's palace? Because that would also be buck fucking wild if I also think he's the killer. That's an insane crossover. Like, I feel like both of those can't be true at the same time and still have there be a narrative cohesion, at least with the information I currently have. Maybe that changes. But that feels like some shit right there. That feels like some foreshadowy shit. And I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways, I'm gonna continue on.
Hold on. How are we even gonna get in touch with him? It's not like we got his contact info.
Oh, well, first of all, I know he likes to hang out at a jazz club, and second of all, I'm pretty sure I do have his number. Oh, there it is!
It's funny. It's funny, Makoto and I saw him at the jazz club last night. Wait, you and Makoto were at the jazz club alone? What? I mean, what?
For real?
Could you send that my way, please?
Oh, God.
I'll contact him right away.
Her phone's going pee-pee.
Her phone is going pee-pee. I feel like it's weirder that I gave him her number without his permission. That feels like a violation of trust there. I feel like I should have been like, let me reach out to him. I feel like that would have been the better way to do it.
Maybe he could have started off with a pleasantry. Hey, Akechi, how's it going?
God. Also, good night, Sassy.
Right, Sassy.
Gotta say, I'm really not big on this Akechi deal.
You're not big on, like, a lot of shit that is remotely logical, so.
Now's no time to be petty.
Just think of him as a source of intel, nothing more.
I have a response already. He says, let me think about it.
Wait a sec. Didn't he say he wasn't gonna do any more stuff for the media?
Is the school festival media?
That's likely why he's so hesitant.
What are we gonna do if he turns us down?
Then we have an excuse. That's fine, actually. That's the best case scenario, is he says no, and we move to whoever number 2 was. And when people were like, why isn't he here? It's like, we can be like, we asked him and he said no. That's actually the ideal, On.
Yeah.
That's the best.
That's why Laura Bailey is here now, On.
I'll keep trying. Maybe frustrating, but he's all we have at the moment. We need him to do it no matter what.
We're counting on you, Makoto.
Okay, let's calm down. Okay, cat is standing, so I can actually go do things. So I will probably let's see. Yeah, no, he's not there. Oh, and I gotta do the yeah. There's like nobody fun for me to do right now. I'm gonna have to go to Mementos. Fuck me. That sucks. Here's the thing, because it's 9 o'clock. So go ahead.
I was like, can you call your teacher?
I will check on her. But for right now, what we're gonna do is I need a break for 2 reasons. 1, I need the little girl's room, and number 2, my cup is empty, and both of these are bad. So my question for you, James, is do you need a break, or do you want to tell one of your other sticky note stories while I go resolve both of these issues?
You know what? I will vamp, and
okay.
I will save my sticky note stories because I think you'll find them funny.
Okay. I mean, I can still hear you when I walk away.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Okay, well then I'll tell my sticky note stories.
Okay, great. Just don't do any D&D stuff yet because we added things at the start of the stream. There are things that got added to the list in real time, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be super great. I can't wait. Anyways, tell people the stuff. Bye.
Bye. So chat. One of the things that I've been doing, other than impatiently waiting for Persona 3 Reloaded to come out this Friday, is I have I think it was last year for Christmas. My family got me a nice espresso maker. It's not like one of those like big long ones that you would see at coffee shops, but it's one that can froth milk, make espresso, water loaded, all that fun stuff. It's very nice. So I've been trying to, this Christmas, Jamp, my wife, got me some really nice cappuccino mugs. So like they're short but very wide. And because of that, I wanted to get better at trying to make like fun little shapes in cappuccinos and lattes. Like, you know how some people can do hearts or make like little teddy bears. So I have been trying to do that with my cappuccinos. And the one of the easier things to do is to make a heart, because you see that all the time in coffee shops. So I've been trying to make a heart, and my hearts are hearts, but they're coming out as anatomically correct hearts in my coffee. And I'm like, that's not the effect I was going for. I mean, there's the aorta, there's the ventricles. All right. So I'm still trying. So, practice makes perfect, chat. So just keep at it and you'll be able to do it. I do have a French press also, Flash. I love my French press. If I'm if I'm not in an espresso mood, so like cappuccino or a latte. But if I do have a French press that I absolutely adore, my COVID project, some people sewed, some people grew great vegetables. Mine was experimenting with coffee. So, trying different whole beans from different parts of the world, different altitudes, different roasts, and trying to figure out like how much I should grind them, what like water to coffee ratio should be in the French press. So I've spent the better part of 4 years perfecting my French press utilization. But hey, welcome back, Jen.
Hey, I'll talk to the teacher while you're doing your thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So working on anatomically correct hearts in my coffee doesn't look good. The other story I have, and then we'll get into D&D. Justin's oldest daughter, who is in the first grade, is playing basketball this winter, and she's starting to have things click with playing basketball. She loves playing defense, just like she did in soccer. And she's so tall that it's very easy for her to be on defense against first graders. Like, she just puts her arms out and her wingspan just stops kids dead in their tracks. So we played a game on Saturday, and this poor little girl was on a breakaway. But my daughter was there, arms out, ready to impede her path. But the girl was focusing on dribbling the ball and not where she was going, and clotheslined herself on Justin's oldest daughter. And they stopped the game. The girl was fine, brushed it off. Everything was fine. At the end of the game, when all the parents are collecting their children and saying, "Good job, you did great," the dad of the girl that accidentally got clotheslined looked really familiar, and I'm thinking, was he is this girl in our school? Did she play on our team last year? I've seen this dad before. And Justin's oldest daughter sees this dad and just beelines it to him. Yes. And goes, "Hi, Mr. Mayor. It's the mayor of Nashville. My daughter accidentally clotheslined the child of the mayor," and they're like, "Oh, okay." So then my wife started talking with him, because my wife works in the school districts and that's kind of her boss. So it's I'm like, please don't think we told our daughter to take out his daughter because we don't like his politics. He's a really nice guy. He does a lot good for me. What are the odds? What are the odds?
I love
the best.
Well...
The best part was that one of the other parents was sitting with us. His daughter's also on our team. He was taking video, and it was of Justin's oldest daughter stopping this girl and not really yeah, sure, go ahead, send it to me. So I actually have a video of it too.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. It's D&D time.
Hey.
We're gonna listen to this conversation. James, this has been on my list forever, and I want to talk about this. I figured out why I hate Magic Missile and you like it.
Okay.
And I know this sounds like the setup to a joke, but I mean legitimately, I think I figured it out.
Okay.
It's very well documented. I don't like playing support roles. I played a cleric and took one healing spell and used it on myself. I don't do things like enhance ability and whatever. I don't do buff things. I like the big juicy numbers of damage. I don't play support things. You play support things. And whether it's that you like it or that you just always end up falling into that role, I don't know. But you at least have a healthy respect for the role of a support character. I heard someone describe Magic Missile as the offensive spell that support casters take. And I was like, that's it. That's exactly that is my epiphany about Magic Missile. That's why I don't like it, because I don't like playing support stuff. And I would much rather gamble on a much larger number than guarantee a smaller number. But if somebody is playing a support class that is healing, that is buffing, that is doing all of that, if that character is in a position where they are like, I need to do damage, they need a guarantee. Even if it's a small amount, there's like, at that point, everything's already fucked. So them taking a small amount of guaranteed damage is like the damage that makes sense for them. Magic Missile is the damage a support character takes. And that's why I hate it, and I think you at least appreciate it, if not like it.
You know, I think before I render my opinion on the matter, I think it's important to note that Magic Missile is usually only available to wizards, and my wizard, who I have played in multiple iterations and multiple campaigns across 3rd edition, 3.5 edition, 5th edition, and Pathfinder, was an Abjurer, which is the spell school, or the subclass of wizard that is probably very support friendly. If would you agree, Jen?
I would absolutely agree. I was like, you started talking, I was like, so many of the things on my list of spells that you're upset I don't have are what I would classify as support spells. So I was like, where are you fucking going with this? So yes. Yeah, it's like, is Magic Missile only, like, I haven't looked. I'm gonna assume that is 100% true. That Magic Missile is a spell that only wizards can have. I think there are random classes that get to be like, pick any spell from any class list, and it's like, fuck you. But like, yeah, it's like, I feel like it is, and I feel like Abjuration also falls into the idea too. It's like, if somebody usually plays a support character and they suddenly need to be a wizard, then it's like, that's why they pick Magic Missile. It's because they're also picking all of these other things that are written on my whiteboard. Yeah, so it's like, so I appreciate that it might be very class specific, but I do think the assessment is an accurate assessment.
I would agree. I think it is a great support spell because it also plays to my risk aversion, just that I naturally have, that I will take a lesser impact that is guaranteed than a higher probability of not hitting that could pay off with bigger dividends if it does land.
Yeah.
I think that's just my natural inclination as a person that's carried over into D&D. But I do genuinely enjoy playing support roles because I feel like support roles, at least in the groups I've played in, is like often people, the groups I've played with feel like playing the support role is drawing the short straw for it. And I've played in groups where we've had bad support characters that make it difficult for other people to be good at the roles that they have. And when I stepped into a support role with the Sagen 1.0, I really liked that role because what I realized specifically within battle, we can talk about RP later, but within the combat of D&D, that no matter how bad a situation could be, a good support character had that one or two spells prepared in advance and can completely tip the scales so that suddenly this disadvantage you're at suddenly gives advantage to the rest of the party to make something of this seemingly bad situation. And that's that's the kind of person I am as well. Like, I love playing strategy games. I love playing grand strategy games. I like looking at 4D chess moves to figure this out. And I think the support character is that like perfect, like, oh, it's like that, like in any movie that involves chess when like two people are going really at it, and it's just that one very subtle move, and then the person at the other end of the table realizes what just happened because what's going to happen 7 moves from now because of that one move. And that's how I feel a good support character is played in D&D.
Yep. I think it's interesting because like you just pointed out, like a good support, I'm not going to say a good support character, a good support player is very necessary to a lot of the combat-based systems. It is very necessary. I don't like fulfilling that role, partially because I understand that I'm not going to be good at fulfilling that role. I am going to be one of those bad support people if I try to play a support character. And I know this about myself, so I'm not going to do it. But I do, like, they are very integral and very important and are very necessary. And I think it's one of those things that, like, when you're looking at a table of people for, I think, any TTRPG, there are two kinds of people you need to make sure are at your table. There needs to be at least one person who fills two roles. And I'm not saying that it needs to be one person who does both of these things. I'm just saying these two things have to be present at your table. Is you have to have a person who wants to be a support player and will have a character that fulfills that support role. Because mechanically, it is necessary. Because if everything's down to a gamble, if everything is down to just a straight-up gamble, that's not going to be good across the board. And you also are leaving a lot of RP things on the table at that. You know, like, or things are not happening at that point if you don't have that support thing. You need someone who will play a support character, and you need someone who wants to play. I think those are the two things. And this is my other soapbox that I warned everybody I was going to get on. Is I think when you have a group of people who are playing at a tabletop game, there's a difference between the people who like to play and the people who want to play. I think a lot of people like to play. I think a lot of people, once they are at the table, have a great time and are involved and engaged and have fun, but they don't want to play, and that they will there is no drive for them to seek out that experience again. And they are not the people who will ask about, when are we going to play again? When are we scheduling the next thing? The people who want to play will do that and make sure there's another one on the books and, like, try to wrangle everybody and their insane schedules to do a thing. The people who like to play want someone else to put in that effort. And if somebody else comes to them and is like, hey, there's a game happening on this day at this time, do you want to be there? They'll be like, absolutely. Like, the people who like to play think they want to play, but they don't put any effort into actually making sure a game ever happens. They enjoy being at the table. They do not have any care to get themselves or anyone else to the table. The people who want to play do that.
Yeah.
And I think so. At every table, you've got to have somebody who wants to play support and likes to play support, and somebody who wants to play. Those are the things. Now I am off my soapbox, and I've yielded it to you.
Yeah. Two things really quickly. Like, the first thing, like, just reading chat. It's okay if you're not a good support character. No one says you have to be a good support character. No one says you have to be good at playing every class in D&D. Play what makes you happy. Play something that you feel like you're good at and what you enjoy doing. And then just find someone who likes playing support like me. Ooh.
Welcome home.
Yeah. It's, oh, hi, buddy. I don't like the face the guy in the back is making either.
Yeah.
That feels very aggressive.
Yeah. This will be voice acted, so let me just finish my thing really quickly. But yeah, so I'm running a Pathfinder 2.0 campaign. I'm very excited about it. And this is with my Friday crew, and I can say this because I know they're probably not watching right now, so...
If you are, hi Friday crew. I have lots of opinions about you.
Yeah. One of the players has made their character, has written a backstory, has sent it to me. I have proofread it, gave notes, sent it back, and I've gotten the second draft of it, and it will fit well into my campaign.
Hell yeah.
He is good. He's good to go. He is also the former DM, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, of course he gets it. I was gonna ask, I was like, later you're gonna have to tell me who it is, and now I know.
Yeah. Everyone else, nothing. I haven't received character sheets. I haven't received character ideas. I haven't received any questions about the campaign. So either my documentation on, like, the player's guide to this campaign was so good that they had no questions whatsoever. So, Fridays have come and gone. No one has reached out to me, and this might come as a surprise to you, Jen and Chet, but I'm a father with 2 children who do extracurriculars. I don't have a lot of free time, so if you're not going to, like, send me something without me prompting you, I'm happy to have my Fridays to play Persona.
Yeah. I'll fucking say it. Sure. At this point, I run, and James, you can't see it. You can hear it, and you'll see it in a couple seconds. I run in air quotes. I have 4 groups right now that have asked me to run games for them. Your group, fucking spot on. I got backstories. I got people asking me questions constantly. Yes, you are engaged. I love all 3 of you. You're wonderful. Fucking shitty hand hearts all around. You're great. The other group that you guys are the counterpart to, I, at this point, still have not gotten any kind of backstory, anything from one of them. The other one, I finally got something like 4 or 5 months ago. So, like, the fact that we are as far into that game as we are, and I still don't know why one of the people is here, is saying a lot. It's, yeah, I think there's different levels of the wanting to be in a group. At the minimum, you need the person who wants to play to the point of where they'll go, hey, when are we going to do it again? And, like, the table needs that. I'm the DM of the mindset of, like, if you don't want to make a backstory, like, that's okay. But that means more of the onus is on you to be engaged in the story and have a reason for your person to be here. If you don't give me a reason I can work in, it is entirely on you. So, like, do with that what you will. Like, the very first, like, Callista, my beloved Tempest Cleric, that was my first, like, major character in an actual full-blown campaign. And I was like, I don't know what to do for a backstory for her. It's like, I'm still so new and baby to this D&D stuff. I was like, I know there's the trope of, like, oh, my family died, whatever, you know, like, there's all that. And I was like, I know there's that trope. That doesn't feel right to me. So I was like, literally, her quote-unquote backstory was just like a paragraph. And it was just like, I need an explanation for why she is where she is when the campaign starts. And her whole thing was like, look, grew up with a family that was like kind of like very like nomadic, like just kind of like to wander and absorb like the like local cultures of all these different like cities and villages and towns or whatever they would wander into, and just thought all that stuff was fascinating. And at some point her parents were like, we're tired of traveling, so we're just gonna like we got here and we're actually just gonna stay here for a bit. And Callista was like, I don't want to just stay here, I kind of want to keep going. So she just kept going. That was her thing. She has managed to wander into this town where everything started because like that was just like, that was the upbringing she had. It was like, I still want to explore more. So that was her backstory of like, this is why she's here and also why she's willing to follow kind of the whims of fate, is she's like, I'm just letting situations guide me and be like, I feel called to certain places. Like, if I'm here, I will be here until I feel like I'm called to go elsewhere, and then I will just follow that. And that was her backstory. And I think that's totally fine to have as a backstory of like, cool, like this is the explanation for why I'm here and why I will go along with whatever fucking thing sets all this off. That's fine. You don't need several pages of like, here's my whole family history. But you do have to be like, I have made a character who wants to be here. And then as a player, somebody at that fucking table needs to want to be there to make the things happen.
Yeah. I think it's okay to write a 3-page document on your family history if that's what you really like. And
yeah, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like for sure, like do that. Give me all that information. Because sometimes that'll make the DM go, I'm going to ask you more questions. Like when I, with no context, sent you a question the other night. And I appreciate that you didn't go, I'm nervous. And you were just like, here's an answer. And I did that to you. I also did that to somebody else that I will not name. Margarita Jen had fun the other night planning for stuff. That's all I have to say.
See, here, I will say, I don't understand why people get nervous, because, I mean, I approach D&D as we're telling a story.
Yes.
And I, like, like that's also why I don't like the orphan trope or like my parents died tragically in the demon attack, because like you're taking away NPCs that the DM can use to make the campaign and make the universe feel more lived in.
And I get that too.
Like,
I do feel like if you want the backstory of like that's what motivated you to go out, like that's totally fine. But giving the DM more tools is always good. I just wanted to interrupt and say that. I'm sorry I cut you off, but I did feel like that was an asterisk I needed to add there. Like, there's a reason it's a popular trope.
Yeah, I get it, and so much so that I've gone out of my way to make every one of my characters have all of their family alive and well, because like those are all NPC opportunities. Those are ways to make. Like we all have had uncomfortable Thanksgivings with family. It's something that's instantly relatable in a very fantasy world, and there's so many wonderful things that you can do with it. And you're giving tools to the DM to tell a story.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, your character, no matter how beloved you love that character, is numbers on a piece of paper, and they're there to facilitate a story. So when Jen fires a bunch of questions at me, like I'm not nervous. I'm more like, oh, I wonder how this is going to come into the story. Like, because I also want to tell a good story as a player, and I know what it's like being on the other end of the DM screen to want to tell a story too. So it's. Like I know we feel very attached to our characters sometimes, maybe an unhealthily amount, but and that's fine. It's fine if you really resonate with your character and you love that character, you love the ideas, the potential of that character, and sometimes it's okay if hard things happen to them because that makes interesting stories. Movies would be very boring if there was no conflict.
James, this is a legitimate question. Knowing that other players in this game are currently in the chat and or we'll go back and watch this later, are you okay with me sharing what question I asked you, or do you want to keep that a secret?
Oh, you could share it.
Okay.
You can share. I have nothing to hide except things I have to hide.
I sent James the question, hey, how does Emil feel about his family? Like, I know we've talked about how he feels about them on an individual level, but as a general concept, how does he feel about, like, if something were to befall them, or, like, if they were to fall from grace, does he still want, want things to be, but just, like, how do you feel about your family? I feel like it's one of those questions you get from a DM that's like, fuck. Yeah, and, I need to point out, like, at this point, any long-form character I have made has had a living family. I have realized in this exact moment they've always been a single, an only child. I haven't done that intentionally. I think it's partially because I've been like, I don't want to make a DM have to worry about siblings. Like, I feel like it's a level of removal from parents. And, like, somebody who's a sibling, you have to decide, like, how similar they are to the character. And so I think maybe that's been the subconscious thing there. But, yeah. Just always at least had parents. Always at least had parents in the campaigns. Anyways, we're gonna do the voice acted scene now, as Pathos has pointed out. We've been on this screen for a while, and this is gonna turn into the buffet really quickly, and then we can return to all of this. But anyways, hey, if you're putting together a game, or if you're gonna be in a group, make sure someone is the want-to-play person. Someone's gotta do it, because like I said, I'm allegedly running 4 groups, but only one of them meets with any kind of regularity. But when I say regularity, I don't mean weekly. I mean, we have talked about some kind of schedule and then also adhered to it. Because one of the groups we've talked about a schedule and we have not adhered to it. And the other 2 groups have been like, they have understood that a regular schedule doesn't make any sense, which is fair. We're all adults who have fucking wild times. But what happens is, like, the conversation will go, we should figure out a time to play, and everyone goes, yeah! And I'll go, here's my availability. Because we're getting tangented. We're gonna come back to this. We're gonna talk about scheduling when we come after this fucking cutscene. We're gonna do this. Ah! Oh.
there is one correct answer, Jen. You know what it is.
Oh, God. Here's the thing. Is honey, I'm home feels weird only because he also immediately said the word home. If he had said, welcome back, I would have said, honey, I'm home. The double home feels weird. Why are you here is rude. See, here's the thing is, both of these feel rude, so I have to do this, but from a syntax perspective, I don't like this answer. The other two I don't like for, like, rudeness reasons, so we're gonna go with honey, I'm home.
Maybe if it makes you feel better, maybe it was a translation thing.
Yeah.
How has business been for you lately?
Take a look around.
There's one other guy in here.
Is the Nijima lady doing well?
Oh. Unfortunately, we haven't seen each other lately. We had a difference of opinion.
What are your thoughts, Representative Shino?
We got the eyebrow raise.
Oh,
this
fucker.
fucker.
People say our country is lethargic. We've let these phantom thieves run amok.
Yeah. Oh my god. Am I so many months later still not figuring it out? God.
And because they've targeted only prominent figures, our government leaders have been hesitant to act.
That sentence doesn't make any sense, because the fact that they've only targeted prominent figures should be the reason the government reacts. It's not like we've been targeting nobodies. What the fuck is this?
I apologize for any concern they may have caused, and will henceforth search for an apt countermeasure.
On the TV screen, the guy's doing focus hands.
That politician's really honorable.
No, he's not. Oh, you're clapping at a fucking coffee shop? He can't hear you. Oh my god, this guy's an idiot.
This is an important undertaking, and one I intend to confront with every asset available to me.
I can't wait to see what Akechi's reaction is to this man talking.
The selfish criminals enacting this social reform are in fact the ones most deserving of reformation. Answering to the interests of the people as hastily as possible is my natural duty as a politician.
Man, look, I need some more of the US politicians to at least half think this.
Man, this guy is admirable.
Stop clapping! Do you also clap when the plane lands? Which, granted, if they're piloting one of the newest Boeing Maxes or whatever, that makes sense. But
this pilot landed a plane with a hole in it. He did great.
As sad as it is, this is the state of our nation. We must resolve this problem. And I assure the people of this noble country that I will do just that.
I know you don't have any hair, but I do want to dunk your head in a toilet. To, like, protect... Like, you just feel like your head should be in a toilet. And I know we can't do a swirly because you don't have hair, but, like, just, like, a spiritual swirly.
Maybe we can call it something like how you polish a bowling ball, but in a toilet.
That's the memory I have, not the guy from Why I'm Up.
Uh-oh. Gen EXE failed. I can't hear her.
It's because I tapped the microphone and it hit the mute button.
Yeah. Quit banging on my little clubhouse in your microphone.
This is very funny because I imagine I like censored myself at some point. That is great. That is great. That means nobody probably heard my voice crack. That's even better.
No, Jeff did. Jeff did.
He probably did, but he's not concerned enough to open the door again. So.
No, he came in to check on you once. That was the requisite number of times.
Yeah.
Ashley can't handle another one.
What are you standing there staring off into space for? You're creeping me out.
That's weird. That feel like it's a weird translation. Both of these feel bad with Takechi being here. Don't like it. The important part is not the standing part, it's the staring off into space part. I fucking hate all these options. Oh my. Carl, I almost read that out loud before I figured out what was being said. Anyways, fun fact about those Alaskan Airlines flight is they found like 8 other planes that had loose bolts. So like something very bad happened on quality control for both Boeing and for Alaska. I guess I'm gonna oh God. That one. Deflection!
Standing here is my job. That politician is honest and
No,
carries an
he's not.
overwhelming amount of charisma.
That part, yes. I do agree with that.
It feels like a trustworthy leader for Japan has finally come forth.
Thank you for fulfilling a narrative requirement. I appreciate it. Can you shut the fuck up, please?
Don't you think, boss?
No, do not think that.
Sorry, wasn't listening.
You clearly were. We were just having a conversation about it.
Criminals, Well, that must be how he sees it.
You also called the Phantom Thieves criminals. You also literally did that.
However, that is ignorant of their true nature.
We're gonna go with this one because I wanted to keep this train of thought going and keep it as unbiased as possible. Because I think if I ask this, he's gonna realize what I'm doing, and if I ask this, he realizes what I'm doing. We're doing this.
Hey, look, it's encapsulating our last D&D game.
Why would they make a teacher and an artist apologize? Could a murder truly have been enacted by the same group? If this Okumura incident was not the Phantom Thieves, if they only changed the hearts of criminals, then even though they can't be considered innocent, perhaps my goals are not so different from theirs.
Oh, you are gonna be our new person. Fucking Christ. Oh, I hate both of these. Oh, why is there not a third option that makes more sense? I'm like, what are your goals then? Would be the optimal, obvious other option. Okay, but they, yeah, okay, that's why the interstate came up. Fuck! They haven't technically done anything wrong, so I guess they are kind of innocent, so we're gonna go with that. He's gonna get offended at this. This is gonna implicate me.
I knew there was something special about you. Ever since the first time we met.
No, he definitely fucking
I feel as
knows.
though I could tell you anything during our conversations. Oh, that reminds me. I've been invited to a panel at Shujin Academy. Wait. I'm sure you know that already.
Yeah, I'm kind of like on that committee, and when kind of gave her your number. Sorry.
Considering it's such a good opportunity, I've decided to accept the offer.
Oh fuck.
Thank you for the coffee. It was delicious.
Glad you liked it.
I'm happy I could see you.
Does that mean you're gonna be at the jazz club now, so I can keep going doing your social links? I think you're the only one I have left.
I'll be going now.
Hey, Jackie.
Oh, Jackie! Yeah, more Persona forever and always. Jackie, I've almost used the last of the blood orange syrup, and I'm very sad, but it is so good in this drink right now. I think I've got like 5 slices left of the candied orange peels. I'm gonna let James talk to you now, but I have more to say about the candied orange peels, because I've also been drinking, and I have many opinions about so many things.
Jackie, tonight has been a very soapboxy kind of stream. It's been magnifique. Or as my D&D character would say, magnifique.
Jesus Christ. Blood orange slices. When you asked me originally which ones I liked better between the more dried ones and the chewier ones, when you had handed me the roll of them before, and you're like, oh, there's drier ones on the inside and there's more candied, like, chewier ones on the outside, I was like, cool, great. And I had unrolled to all but the very last row of them when you asked me that question. And I was like, oh, I guess there's a difference between these two things. So, like, yeah, I guess there's not really a difference between the dried ones and the chewier ones. And then you dropped off parfait with the drier ones. And I was like, oh, these are what the drier ones are. No, I definitely like the chewier ones better that weren't just dehydrated, that were like in the oven ones. The dry ones are great in drinks because they hold their integrity better. But for just eating, the chewy ones, fucking fantastic. I'm kind of thinking about trying to see if I can get more blood oranges to try to make these things myself because I'm out of them now. And I'm out of the syrup as of tonight. It was very good. I just breathed in ginger beer fumes, though. And now I'm going to cough a lot. Anyways, everything's great.
Save your game.
Yes, I should do that. Oh, God, my phone's going pee-pee. Ah! All right, we'll save in a second. Oh, they're still in season. Shit, I should do that. Very, very good. Yep, syrup's gone. Chewy ones are gone. Dried ones are still for my drinks. It's great. They're also great in my fucking tea.
What ginger beer are you drinking tonight?
Just my fever treat.
Okay.
Just because I needed a small amount. But yeah, these candied and dried like blood orange slices have been fucking great. Just putting them just in ginger beer with like no whiskey has been just like a beautiful little treat. Because I put them in my ginger beer and it makes the ginger beer flavored, and then I finish it and I get to then I get to eat the orange wheel, and it's fucking great. I'm gonna be very sad when they're all gone. And I was very grateful to have more of them when we babysat Parfait for 2 days before she decided she hated Tucker. In which case then we were like, no, okay. Well, we tried, and she did very good for while she was here. So we asked a lot of that poor pup, and she was good. And I was sad to send her to someone else for the remaining 2 days, but I got oranges out of it. So
there you go. Flash, I know you're asking Jen, but I am co-opting the question. My favorite ginger beer is Barrett's ginger beer. That is my personal favorite. It is very good. It goes well in mixed drinks, and it's very fun to drink by itself.
Yeah, Barrett's is fucking great. I do really like Fever Tree. Here's the thing: is like I love ginger ale to the point that I buy the Canada Dry extra ginger ale. I love ginger stuff. I love that kind of spicy. That's not necessarily for everybody. I get it.
And I play support classes.
Yeah, I like my ginger ale to fucking attack me, so of course I want my characters to be very attack heavy. I don't want support ginger beer. I want brutal in your face ginger beer.
Perfect. Yeah, that is a clumsy segue into the thing that we put a pin in so we can do the Honey I'm Home bit with Robbie Damon. But I think the 3 things that you need to have a successful D&D campaign is that you need to have a player who wants to play a support class. You need to have a player who wants to organize the game, because that should not be the DM's responsibility.
Yes.
And you should have one player who's halfway decent at improv, because that can just like help motivate and move things forward for everyone else, or inspire others to try improv a little bit. So if you can have those 3 things, I think you'll have a very good D&D group.
Yeah, I think that improv thing is a great to have. I don't think it's. I hesitate to call that a necessity. I think it's a wonderful bonus. I think it is definitely helpful for the DM to have a person like that at the table, because I think that definitely helps other players like who maybe aren't necessarily like that, like open their shells a little bit, and that doesn't put the onus entirely on the DM to help encourage RP behavior. But I think I would dare to put that in the bonus category than a requirement. I think having somebody who wants to play and will wrangle the schedules is a necessity. And I think somebody who wants to play support is a necessity. I feel like is good at improv is a very nice to have and is a boon to the table, but not having it is not a game killer. Is how I would dare say that. Also, I need to acknowledge this. Jackie, you don't need to be sorry. We asked a lot of your poor rescue pup, and she did so good for so long, for so many aspects of it. Do not be sorry. I feel like she and Tucker will get along fantastically if we're not also like, hey, here's a new home that you've been in once before. Also with people you've met only twice before. Also, mom just left. We asked a lot of that poor dog. She did so good. She did so good. We'll do some more slow introductions, and she and Tucker will be great, and we'll be able to watch her for longer next time. She did good. I do not hold this against her at all. She is a sweetheart, and when she was next to me, she was lovely. When I had to pee, it was a nightmare. But but she did very good. Do not be sorry. Anyways, now that we're done with that tangent. So fair. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go on.
I'm gonna change topics. So if you have anything related to this, you should continue.
It's D&D related, so I don't know like how far.
It is D&D related. It is still D&D.
Okay.
It is a tangent away from this exact topic.
Yeah, I am done with this exact topic.
Okay, great.
So
Hey, Farron is here, and I want to get an update on the problem player that you put your foot down with last stream. I want to know how that went, and if there's been any other fallout, any of whatever. I need to know. I need to know how this went. Oh God. Okay. We got a big paragraph, James. I'm making that your responsibility while I get through whatever's happening on my screen.
All right. Should I do radio voice or just normal voice?
Just do normal voice. If you do radio voice, I'm gonna part of the radio voice. The way you do radio voice distracts me just enough where I'm like, haha, such a funny voice. Oh, fuck, I wasn't listening, is what happens. And I missed the first half.
That's how I deliver bad news and fire people. Because they're like, haha, that's fun. Oh. All right, so the response from the guy was tepid. Walking around the issue revealed another problem. Self-determined the cost of a homebrew magic item in my campaign, asked other trusted members of the party, and we all agreed that the magic item was mostly cosmetic. Taking it from him would make him unnecessarily angry, so I wrote him back explaining that what he did was disrespectful and against D&D norms and I won't tolerate it. I also added it didn't help that he consistently criticizing how I run the game in an unconstructive manner. I told him if he didn't like how I run the game, he doesn't need to play in at the table. And I also have the right to choose who can come to play in my home. I host D&D when not running the game. Didn't respond, but his behavior improved greatly the next session. I was ready. His emphasis, not mine.
I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. That's incredible. The fact that you straight up told them what he was doing was disrespectful and that you won't tolerate it. And that you were like, you have the right to choose who can come and play in my home. Oh my God. That's so, thumbs up, claps, chef's kiss, all of that. So good. I'm so proud of you for doing it, and the fact that his behavior improved after that is also so great. I know that was so scary, and I'm so proud of you for doing it, and I'm so happy for you that it actually had an impact in shaping the behavior and making it so that way you can also enjoy the game and run it the way you want to. Oh my God. That's so good. That's so good. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy for you, and of you. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. I hate whiskey's been a thing. You get it. You're great.
I have nothing else to add that Jen hasn't already said, except just to let you personally know and no one else in chat that I turned on my camera to give a thumbs up and then realized that Jen is not sharing my video. So I've had a week, but that is awesome, Farron. That is exactly what you needed to do, and way to go. And hopefully that also sets an example for everyone else at the table that you're not to be fucked with.
I love so much about
in that
it.
way. In that way.
Yeah, I love that so much. So I'm glad. I know it was scary. I'm glad it turned out that way, where it was like, even if he was about it, I'm glad it reached a resolution that even if there's not been an overt response, there has been a subtle response and his behavior has changed. And I hope that sticks. That's great. You're wonderful. You're a great DM. They're lucky to have you.
Hey, Jen, did you save your game?
No, I didn't. I was about to go do other things. I got so distracted. How do I save my game? That button. There we go. We're there now. Okay. We're perfect. Everything's great. Can I go hang out? No, he's not here. That's fine. I can't call teacher because she yelled at me because it wasn't a Friday or Saturday. I I could go somewhere else, but I can't do Shogi until I go to Mementos. Oh god, I didn't mean to hit that button. I don't care about Mishima. Fuck that guy. Can't do anything here. You're also grayed out, which I feel like I'm gonna go talk to you just because that does feel weird. Yeah, let's go find out. I can go there for free. I want to go see why this is grayed out. Oh, that was not the button I wanted. Fuck. Yeah, that one. Okay, we're good. We made it. We're fine.
Yeah, definitely airsoft shop. Definitely nothing else.
Oh, it's still gonna let... I guess it just means that whenever I do stuff. Okay, that's fine. Alright, James, question.
Yeah.
I can't work on any of the social links I actually care about right now.
Okay.
Is it better for me to progress whatever the fuck this dude's thing is, or work on my stats?
I think at this point in the game, you're not going to get the benefits that Iwa can bring by getting his social link higher. So I would say work on your stats or take Gwen to the jazz club to work on her stats.
Jazz club is here?
Correct.
Sure, we'll go hang out with my girlfriend.
I think she's earned it.
I don't know if Muffin is still here. Just to really add a layer of complication to the fact that we call this character my D&D character's name, she was the social link I decided to date. So just like unpack that however you want to.
I mean, if we really want to make like a web of just this I don't want to say strangeness.
I forgot her actual
Gwen.
name and was looking for Gwen on this list. I didn't ever want to know that.
Yeah. So yeah, just to add, I guess maybe additional spice to this. There's Gwen and Makoto are eerily similar in the archetypes that they represent in their story, and Jen opted to date her D&D character. Fun fact, the campaign that Jen is DMing for us, it turns out that my character that I thought was totally original, very similar to Gwen's actual
maybe boyfriend.
maybe boyfriend in our other campaign. Which was very funny that both you and I just started cracking up laughing when Aaron dropped that little tidbit about Stromith. We just started laughing and laughing.
I was like, I'm trying to be in this moment and in this conversation because it is serious and also like a huge RP thing, but also as soon as she was like, oh yeah, fourth child of a noble family, I was like, oh my fucking god, she has no idea.
Nope, not even a little bit.
It was so good. It was so good. So anyways, yeah. So far, that's the only parallel between those two, and I hope I respectfully hope it remains that way, because otherwise it's gonna start getting real weird for me.
Good save. Yeah, respectfully.
Yeah, we gotta add respectfully in there. And that's the new no offense, but respectfully fuck right off. God. Yeah. You guys' game has been fun because so we play pretty much weekly. We've had a couple random weeks we haven't been able to play because like I was in Pittsburgh and Sassy was doing one of her classes and everything. But for the most part, we've pretty much played weekly since that one started. So there's like constant things that come up with you guys. This week was a little unhinged because a conversation happened and spanned, not that the conversation itself lasted this long, but references to it spanned a very long period of time before I realized why this was okay. Because I think it was Sassy who pointed out the commonality in this. So something came up about, I don't remember which, I think snails came up first. I think it was your character, because your character has like French influences, like speaks with kind of a bit of a French accent, and you keep making references to like French culture things.
Yes.
And I think you were trying to make small talk with an NPC is what happened, and you made a comment, or maybe it was even one of the actual party members, about like snails as a cuisine thing.
Yes.
And a comment happened, I think, as people, not as characters, as to whether, like, snails and oysters had similar textures, like, as a cuisine thing. And I was like, all right, we got to stop now, and I have to go Google this. And I started typing in, do snails and oysters, and Google auto-completed, get along. And I started cracking up, because I was like, what the fuck is this question? Are they friends? What is this? And it took a solid, I want to say, over the course of the game, half hour before someone I think it was Sassy, made a comment about an aquarium. And I went, oh, that is a place those two things would coexist. Because in my head, I was picturing like a garden snail and an ocean oyster. And I was like, when would these two ever meet? Why would they be friends?
Well, in France, there are such thing as garden oysters. They don't just I'm just
Shut the fuck up. Fuck you. I take back my respectfully from earlier.
Oh.
But yeah.
Here's my.
Go ahead.
Here's my fucky wucky punch card. Go for it.
It was so funny though, because it was like we were talking about this, and I'm cracking up at the idea of do they get along? And I'm imagining these things trying to be friends, and we have this conversation in game, and then we move on, and then it somehow came up again before Sassy made a comment about like seeing a video of an aquarium where an oyster just full on reached out and consumed a snail, and that's when I went, aquarium. It's like in the game, like said that out loud. I was like, that makes a lot more sense now. Anyways, it was D&D related, but not fully, and I wanted to share that with everyone, that I was picturing just like, because I had literally just that day rescued a snail. Like we've been getting a ton of rain here, and there was a snail that was on my car, and I was getting ready to leave for work, and I was like, I don't want to drive you 60 miles away, or 40 miles away, it's 60 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't want to drive you that far from home, so I had found like a stiff leaf to kind of like try to like scoop him up on, to put him back down in our nearby bush, so that way I didn't drive him away from home. So that's the kind of snail I had in my brain when it was like, do snails and oysters get along? Clearly, based on Sassy's story, the answer is no.
No, they do not.
But anyways, if you're worried about the texture question, which was what I was going for, apparently snails have a texture close when they're cooked closer to shrimp than to oysters. So there you go. Now you know.
Yeah. Before you advance this text box, does Gwen have anything that she has an emotional attachment to when she was a kid?
Oh, no. No, she had no emotional attachments as a child to much of anything.
No baked goods, nothing.
So the baked goods, what do I think is the likelihood we're going to get to any of this in game? Probably this feels general enough that it's fine. So Vasile doesn't know this. James, you now know this. So Gwen's parents, her mother worked in a bakery, and did a lot of their scones, and they would always be seasonal and whatnot. But the cranberry scones in the fall were always her favorite, and so that was the recipe that Gwen learned. Is she knows how to make general scones, but her favorite is always going to the cranberry scones. That's why the one time we had downtime and she was like, I made scones, that's what it was.
I remember when downtime was a thing.
Yeah, remember when Sylvine was the biggest problem we had?
Yeah.
So that's why. So it was that baking was literally her mom's job, and because of the way things worked out, is she would end up with her mom at the bakery in the early mornings sometimes, and so she learned a couple of the recipes, but scones were always her favorite.
Okay.
So there you go. Now you know.
Now, knowing is half the battle that Vasile will never know.
And now the chat knows because we don't stream the game anymore. Now you all know. Because I think the original scone thing happened where I was like, she stress baked a bunch of scones overnight. Yeah. Now you all have context for that.
Yeah, General Scone is now an NPC according to Carl. His best friend is Major Muffin.
So we have Grand Inquisitor Yoon and the Grand General Longshadow and General Scones.
General Scone, Major Muffin,
God.
Corporal Cookie.
Anyways, moving on.
Second Lieutenant Lemon Cookie.
Oh my god. Oh, lemon cookie. I have to say, I never liked the lemon Girl Scout cookies. Lemon, I feel like belongs in a scone. The only lemon cookies I've ever liked are the shortbread cookies that have lemon curd in them. Lemon in the cookies has never been good to me. Random Gen tidbit. There you go.
There you go. Hey, we're learning so much. We're learning about D&D preferences, how you hate pleasantries at the beginning of messages.
You know what else I fucking hate?
Magic Missile.
Also that. A lack of reading comprehension. And this is D&D related because I tweeted from the DICE account, hey, what are your favorite spells / abilities? Because I wanted to leave it open to like multiple systems and also like not just making it just a spellcaster thing that use a lot of dice. Tell me how many of what kind of dice they use. First of all, many responses that did not do the second part. I got a lot of like, oh, Thunderous Smite. I don't have time to Google every one of these answers. Fuck you if you didn't tell me what the thing was. So I had a lot of that.
Sorry.
I didn't say it. I don't know what you're talking about. But I did notice that, yes. But one of my favorite things is someone responded with, oh, power word kill. Hey, if you're not a D&D 5 person, power word kill doesn't have a roll. It's a 9th level spell. If you cast it on someone who has more than 100 hit points, nothing happens. And if they have less than 100 hit points, they die. That's it. That's the spell. You don't roll any dice. There's no save for them. There's no dice involved in this spell. Why the fuck was this an answer? Anyways, I end up responding, hey, I actually already have a set of dice named after that one.
A little more mature.
But also, like, that one doesn't have any dice associated with it. LOL or whatever. And their response was, oh, I confused it with sleep. How do you confuse immediate kill them, immediate unaliving with sleep? Granted, what is death if not just a very good, a very intense, very permanent, I'm putting that in air quotes because of D&D, sleep. But also, how do you confuse those two? That was the most ridiculous answer to me by far. By far.
Do you think this particular player, the actual word that is the power word kill is just sleep?
Maybe.
You say sleep and they die.
Maybe. Yeah. The answers I got to that were very interesting because two things happened. Three things happened. One, I got a lot of responses that did not tell me what kind of dice they were. And I was like, well, not doing anything with that. The second thing that happened was that power word kill / sleep confusion. The third thing that happened was actually the very first response that I got. Oh, I have to pick a thing, don't I? Fuck! Okay. We're gonna do it this second. The first response I got was, oh, Steel Wind Strike. James, do you know anything about Steel Wind Strike? Because I didn't know. I realized that I had erroneously never really looked at it until I got this comment. Do you know what Steel Wind Strike does?
I do not off the top of my head. In fact, I don't think in any campaign I've ever played, anyone has ever used that spell.
Here's the thing. It's clearly intended for, like a blade singing wizard. It's clearly intended for that. This spell is insane, James. It's fucking insane. It is a 5th level spell. It is available only to wizards, and I'm putting the asterisk next to that because I think bards can pick literally anything from any spell class at certain levels of theirs, so maybe a bard could get it. It is a 5th level spell. The way it reads is that you pick 5 targets, and you essentially, like, hey, if you ever watched Ruby, this is like Weiss. This is you teleport to each of these 5 people in succession and try to hit them. So it's 5, like, attack rolls. And anyone you hit does 10d6. No, is it 6d10 or 10d6? I think it's 6d10. Never mind. Carl's got it in chat. 6d10 damage to each of the 5 times. Up to 5 people you can hit for 6d10 damage. And then at the end, you can teleport to you can pick within 5 feet of any one of those spaces. So if you killed someone, that's clearly the spot you go to.
Do you need
5 times 6d10 for a 5th level spell.
Do you need to be in blade singing mode for that to work?
It's fucking insane. I didn't know this existed.
That means Stromith will get it eventually.
Oh my god, that would be great. Yeah. So I didn't know that. Like, I think I saw that, and there was something about it that I think when I was like, oh, this is a melee thing, I'm not gonna look at that. So I never read it further. And then they responded with this, and they're like, yeah, it's 6d10, and I was like, fucking excuse me, and so that I had to go look it up. It's so much goddamn damage. And, yes, you do have to roll to hit on everybody, but the fact that you teleport around the fucking battlefield to do this, and they can pick where you land, fucking insane. Absolutely insane. So it's clearly really meant for a blade singing wizard. But, I don't know, if you had a wizard that maybe multi-classed in the fighter, also very good.
Or an abjurer, why not?
Or an abjurer who's not spending their turn to do damage. Anyways, I need to pay attention to this. Okay, nuke break. Negates nuke resistance. Great. I feel like I'm gonna probably get rid of energy shower. I don't know if I've ever used that. Raku Kaja, I feel like I've got items for that. I know I've used remove debuff, so I don't want to get rid of that. James, my gut is Raku Kaja or energy shower. What's your expert opinion?
I do Raku Kaja.
Okay.
Because you can use items to augment that, and is that the best use of Gwen's turn to buff someone versus debuffing everyone or just attacking? Because we know Gwen is not a support character.
She is super not!
All right then.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Alright, we're good now. Everything's great. Oh my god, it's 10:10! When did that happen?
The soapbox, it eats the time.
The soapbox did eat the time. Oh, we're all here.
The festival seems to be
we're gonna be here a while.
Yeah, we are. Fucking fuck.
There's definitely a lot more people than last year.
What is on Futaba's it's her hands clasped behind her back. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so before we get too much deeper into this, Jen, it is 10:10.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like it, but you did save right before taking Gwen to the jazz club.
Did I?
So you did. I've made you save the game.
Okay. I know you made me save the game. I don't feel like it was right before that, but my perception of time. The soapboxes separate me from the timeline very, very immensely.
So maybe someone in chat can just confirm my memory that we did save before exploring because you went to Iwa and you're like, well, what am I going to do now? I'm like, well, you can either boost your stats or hang out with Gwen, and then soapboxes happened. This is going to take a while, the sequence of things that are about to start. So that is the only reason why I'm bringing it up now.
All right, if that's true, if someone in chat can confirm that I truly did save essentially right before we went to Jazz Club, then we can call it here, and I will just do the quick Gwen at the Jazz Club thing at the start of the next stream, or before the start of the next stream, and we'll just pick up here. No, Jackie, that's the problem, is I can't. I can't save right now. We are going to be trapped in cutscene hell, is the warning that's happening.
Pathos has confirmed.
I trust Pathos. Pathos, fucking, like, it has pretty... I'm going to say, like, with 99% accuracy, has never steered me wrong as far as things like that goes. So I'm going to call it... I'm gonna say I'm gonna trust all of this. I'm gonna put a marker here as well. For when this inevitably is bad. And we will go ahead and call it here. So that way I can go to bed. I had questions about what happened with that quote, and then I was like, oh, that's gotta be Mario Party. Because I think it's the only time Aaron has been on this stream. Great. So yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this here. We're gonna do this here. I think I got through... Oh, the magic missile thing has been on my list for, like, fucking ever, and I'm glad we finally got to talk about it. I think the only things we didn't get to were the things that I added to the list during this stream. So just, like, as a teaser for everybody, hey, next time we're gonna talk about Hunter's Mark and long rest rules. But anyways, for now, James, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back next week, unless James is about to tell me he won't be available on... Oh, that's the wrong month calendar I'm looking at.
Yeah. I will be here next Wednesday, and I will only be talking about Persona 3, so tough.
God, maybe we won't do that.